student at Palm Beach Atlantic University over in West Palm Beach, Florida. Heard about the job. I actually found a business card. So I heard TikTok, I heard Craigslist, I heard online. I actually found a dirty little business card on the floor at school next to my car that said student work. And I was like, I do. And it's been an unbelievable ride. So I grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 people, didn't have much, money was definitely a stress factor. And I wasn't sure, like I knew I wanted to be able to put myself in a position where I had options and opportunities to be able to create time and money freedom. So entrepreneurship always intrigued me since I was probably 14, 15. And I'd ask my friends like why their parents were always at like there for their birthday at school, right? Or like why they were always at the games after school and how come they weren't at work? Because my parents couldn't come because they were at work. And they said, oh, my parents have their own business, and I remember hearing that and I was like, I'm going to have my own fucking business. I was like, I need this, and it's pretty amazing how like the world works, and God works, and just how I bumped into this company, which I definitely thought I was only doing for just a couple months, I was like, I'm going to do this for the summer. I want to study abroad in London. I was super excited about that and had no idea that I'd stay with them after. And so my first summer, thank you to my incredible manager and assistant manager staff. They coached me and helped me. My first summer, I earned $22,000 in income in 2.5 months, which by the way is not normal. I was number 19 in the country out of like 20,000 people. But what I always tell people, and I love, is that it's possible, like last year, one of our own, Hunter, you guys will get to meet him. We need to have him pop by the way, tomorrow, hopefully. Years old. He's a student at Lone Star Community College. And last year he earned over 140 grand as a 19-year-old. By the way, he was also number 1 in the entire company, rookie of the year, won a national championship. I told him that last spring. I was like, anybody can do it. It's about putting your mind towards something, right? Having a goal, having a vision, having focus, having discipline, right? Having a plan and having discipline to carry that plan out. And he did. And I set him up with an incredible coach, and we worked with them, and it was just awesome to see what he did. Nadia Blair, she was our number 1 student last summer. And in the summer, this is a 17-year-old who doesn't even have a license yet, can't drive, from home online. She earned $20,000, sold over 50 grand last summer, was an All-American scholarship winner. And I can go on and on. We have so many students working part-time around school, earning 10, 15, 20 grand or more a year. We have students that work full-time with us, like Hunter, that are earning 50, 75, 100,000 or more, right? Like he did, and Francisco and many others, Alex Chavez have. And then we have non-students that do this for a living. And by the way, just so you all know, we are looking for career professionals, so I know Jessica, you're not in school right now. We're looking for people who are excited for a place to grow, a place where you can advance, a place where you can be supported and you can learn new skills, and the fact is that anything you guys ever want to do in life, if you want to be great or at the top of the chain, wherever you're at, you have to be great at communicating with others. Cool. Because you have to be able to lead a team, present ideas. You need to also be able to be approachable, right? Where they feel comfortable coming to talk to you, and they want to listen to your orders and they want to follow your guide. And so those are really important things that I always share with people to really help them at the highest level. I'm just like, you need to get great at people in any job, even if you're a top engineer, you're working behind the scenes. Again, if you want to lead that team of engineers and get paid the biggest bucks, you have to be able to communicate effectively. So gaining self-confidence, interacting with all different types of personalities, right? Your interpersonal skills, your problem solving skills, your rapport skills, and what happens. And you'll see, and I've seen like Erica, when she started, and she can tell you guys later, like she was so shy and so quiet. And it's so awesome to see her now, like coaching and teaching our division, on different aspects of our business as they prepare to open offices. It really excites me for the possibilities. And I've seen people over the last almost 2 decades, who worked with me, who were really quiet, really shy, really nervous, and just seeing them, a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 later, and just how they evolved in our company. And so some of you might be here because you're like, I just want to make some quick cash for spring break, or maybe reserve a summer job. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, I want to study abroad. I just need an extra $5,000. Like, I'll do this to make an extra 5 grand. And never could I have imagined that would lead to what it did, And I think about when I first started, and I want to share this with you all. Here, when I first started, people I'm actually here and I had no idea. And I was like, oh my gosh, like we're in honors college together. Oh my gosh, I know I'm from there. My friends, when I started, I'm going to give you the website today. So if you want to start like practicing and reading through everything, you guys can. Cool. And actually, if you want to type it in the box, it's my vector demo. .com, if you guys can put that website in there for me for them. But they said you're going to get a manual, all right, which you guys are going to see on myvectordemo.com. And don't go there yet in a bit. And it literally tells you what to say. It tells you what to do. It's crazy. When I started, I'm like, oh my gosh, it literally tells you like, oh, slide here. Like it tells you what to tell the customer to like scroll down and push this button. Like it tells you everything. And I remember when I was newer, 19 years ago, we weren't all virtual, right? We started doing virtual demos about 15 years ago or so, and last year we went fully remote, which was awesome. All right. Thanks, Jessica. Save the kids. And when I first started with the company, my friends told me like, Kathy, literally, like if you read and you have a lot of fun with your customers, like just have fun with them. Even if you're nervous, like know that your objective is to like have a good time and share with them why you're doing this job. I don't think anyone's here because you're excited about being the top knife salesperson in the world, right? Like that's not why people are here or come here. Although we do show some pretty kick-ass kitchen stuff. I mean, my grandma has owned Cutco since 1957. All right. We started in 1949. She's had them since 1957. And then my best friend's mom, Carrie and Scott, owned them since the 70s. So like we owned them before you guys were out of, we were born. And then in my church, Elaine Anthony, who's one of our elders, her husband was a deacon in our church. She had them from 1952. And I remember like my first weekend after I started the job, I was at church and my mom goes to my youth pastor, like, I need to talk to Kathleen and knock some sense to her. Like she has this new job. I just don't agree with it. And my mom thought I was like running around like door to door selling knives. I'm like, Mom, it's not like that. Like I work with people on preset appointments, kind of like a realtor. I get paid just to show it. There's no obligation. I just don't feel comfortable, And when my youth pastor, when she mentioned that, he walked over and he's like, well, Mickey, what is she doing? And she's like, she's selling knives. And my youth pastor started laughing and he goes, is she working with Cutco? And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. You've heard of Cutco before? And he was like, heck yeah, I have. And he called his wife and he's like, Jody, come here. Kathy's selling Cutco. And she starts laughing and she's like, no way. She's like, do you cut the penny? And I was like, yeah. And he said, I sold back in the 80s to pay my way through Liberty University when I was going to school up in Virginia. I was like, no freaking way. And he's like, yeah. He's like, those things are amazing. He's like, we still have them in our house. And his wife starts talking about everything. And my mom was like, okay, that backfired, but he told her, he's like, look, it's a really great program. Like it's designed to teach them communication skills, presentation skills, time management, like all these things that you're going to always use. And I'm glad that I bumped into him early on because my mom was like super adamant about me finding another job. And now she's like my biggest cheerleader. But you learn so much here. And by the way, guys, you can earn college credits. Claudia earned like 6 credit hours. I earned 8 credit hours in school. My husband earned 3 credit hours. Ashley White, one of our young girls who went to Woodlands High, she went to Penn State. And at Penn State, she earned 3 credit hours doing an internship with us for the summer. And I can go on and on. And so for those of you who are excited about, again, gaining management skills, gaining people skills, gaining entrepreneurial skills, you guys could not have landed a better job, even if it was like by accident. So welcome to all of you. But I will say you're going to have your manual, follow it. Cool. You're going to have amazing leadership. Like your managers, they're incredible. cling on to them. All right. Ask questions, let them coach you. Like your bosses, right? Like whether you're working, Kaylee, hopefully you'll get a chance to talk with Mary Lou. She just had her second son a couple of weeks ago. So I know Karina Marquez will be helping coach a lot for the Conroe crew. If you're working with Justin, you're working with the pilot staff or myself or Claudia. Again, you guys are in such freaking great hands. They're your experience. Oh, I really need money or I really want a chance intern, hook on my resume, or what is it that you want? For me, I was like, I need to make a minimum of $5,000. And my manager sat down and he literally broke it down with me. And he told me exactly what I needed to do. All right. And if it's easier, I could call in. Erica, if you think that's better, I can call in so that my sound comes through the phone. Should I do that? Can you help me call in from the phone and then I'll disconnect here? Thank you. Yes. So anyway, so they're your experience and your income coaches. Okay. So just make sure that you ladies and gentlemen are letting your managers know what it is you want so they can sit down, break it down and make a plan. Cool. And so we have really, really great accountability, and so just know that like our team is damn good at their jobs. So if you want to get somewhere, like they're really good at helping you get there, but you just need to be vocal about what it is that you do want. Okay. So give me a second. Got that, guys. Yeah, so make sure you just let us know what it is you want to do, and we're going to help you guys get there. Cool. And by the way, sometimes you might not love us in the moment when we're like, hey, you had this goal, Mina, and we had to get up, and work at 8 a.m. and make 20 calls for you to hit this goal for the weekend. And sometimes you're like, oh, okay. And you might be like, oh, Kathy, waking me up, but once you hit your goal and you have a paycheck of like $1,000, you'll be like, oh, I love Kathy. She helped me so much. So we want you to love us, but just know that we do have, I always tell our guys, it's tough love, right? That accountability. Like I was an athlete my whole life. I played college volleyball. My best coaches in club team and in college were my toughest coaches. And it was tough love, right? They wanted us to be the best. And they were like, don't cut corners, right? Like hold yourself to standard. Like they were always pushing us, like even when we were doing drills, if we like didn't touch the line, it was like, boom, start again, and I was like, what? But they were just like, they taught us life concepts, right? And it served me through my whole life. And so I hope that we're able to do the same for you. And just know that if you want anything in life, like sometimes things are going to get tough, and so having great people that hold you accountable, that keep you going, like everything like that you do in life, like if it's really worth it, it's not always easy, And I found that some of the most amazing things are some of the most difficult, and not because they're hard to do, but they take a certain level of discipline, right? If I want to gain a certain amount of weight or I want to lose a certain amount of weight, there's a certain discipline. And let me tell you, I love pizza and I love beer. And so it takes discipline if I'm trying to like shred up, and so it's not hard. Like I know if I want to shred, I have to, consume less calories or burn more calories than I consume, and the opposite, if I want to put on weight, I have to gain more calories than I lose, right? Like it's a simple equation, but the hard part is the discipline. Cool. So know that anyone can succeed here if they have a great attitude, if they follow the program, and if they communicate with us at a high level. And every single coach on our team has already succeeded, all right, at what you're doing. So take a lot of confidence and pride in that as well, right? That like they're not teaching you like some random shit they like read somewhere. Like they've done it. Like we all started in the same place. We all did the same demos. We all advanced from within. And let us know. And for those of you who are excited about advancement, let me tell you, we have, I have 20 offices, like 20 new offices opening in the next 2 to 6 weeks. And we are looking for people who are excited to lead and be assistant managers, right? People who already have experience in leadership or are really desiring that, and want that level of coaching to learn how to mentor and work with others. And if that's you, please let us know if that's something that interests you so that we can put you on a fast track for that. Sounds good? So as far as the job's super simple. All right. And we're going to walk through some stuff. I want to set you guys up really strong, but the job's super simple. You guys get paid to show cool kitchen stuff. Okay. It's not that complicated. And I want to show you guys this here. So my vector demo, which you guys all will have access to. You guys can all play with this tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see this here. But this is your online virtual manual. All right. And so here's what this looks like. This has everything in here. It tells you, we'll fill these things in later, but it tells you like tips for your demo. We're going to hit this hard tomorrow, but you guys can, read through this tonight when we're, showing Cutco customers, what to say. By the way, raise your hand if you know someone already that owns Cutco. I'm curious. Does anyone already know someone that owns Cutco? Anybody here? Oh, nice. Awesome. Who do you know that has Cutco?
My mom, and she's had it.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Go ahead.
I can now.
You can hear me? Okay. My mom has Cutco, and actually someone went to her home and cut a penny and she was sold. And it's been 10 to 15 years that she still has it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you can help her and show her where to send them back. I always recommend every 10 to 15 years sending them to the factory because they get free sharpening forever. And they're going to come back literally like when she first bought them, like brand new. So that's really cool. And we'll show you that. So that's pretty sweet. Anybody else that already owns Cutco?
I don't personally own it, but my mom, of course, as soon as I told her that I was going to get a job, she like went and told my entire family. And then my aunt calls me literally 5 minutes after I hang up with my mom. And she was like, I already have that. And I was like, no way. And she was like, I can't believe you're working for them. I was like, how'd you get it? And she said that a woman at her church actually recommended it to her. And then that's when she got it.
That's awesome. How long has she had it?
She's had it for like 20 years.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I love bumping into people who've had them for so long. Like that helped build my confidence and my conviction so much, right? Because like you're not selling some shitty product that like hide in a bathroom stall when you're like at a family event. Like you have something that people for like decades will be like best stuff ever, So that's really cool because guys, what you're going to learn is you're not really going to sell Cutco. Cool. We're going to show you the presentation. We're going to dive into that tomorrow. Today, whoever wants to stay at the end, we actually have a recording of one of our top people doing the demo. So if you want to like have dinner and watch it, I would heavily recommend that because it's going to make more sense to you. Right. And then tomorrow we'll dive into the presentation and practice it. But oh my gosh, like it's just what you learn how to do is sell yourself. Got it? Like people need to like you. They need to connect with you. Like the reason they're going to give you referrals is because they like you. And so remember that. And so that's something you're learning, which by the way, is a life skill because you're always going to like when you can just walk in and say hi to people and you're like, hi, how are you? And connect with people and people are just like, oh, I like them. That's really good for your business. Whether you're a chiropractor, you're an engineer, you're a doctor, accountant, a teacher, an event planner, whatever you're doing, that's huge. And by the way, that's something you can learn. You might think like, oh, they were just born with it. And yeah, some people are more outgoing naturally, right? But the more you practice something and the more you do something, the more confidence you gain in it. And I always tell my guys who are quiet, shy introverts, like they're the ones that impress me the most with this job because this is so out of their freaking comfort zone, And so to choose to do a job that's uncomfortable, that's a big deal because humans hate being uncomfortable. Like humans always stay in their bubble, right? And so when you actually say like, I'm choosing to do something that's totally uncomfortable for me because I know it will grow me, because I know it will benefit me, that's some good shit right there. And that's how you keep growing as a person, and that's something, I wrote about in my book, just like what people are you around? What's your circle of influence, right? You want to succeed at high levels in your life. You want to have a lot of joy. You want a lot like, who are you around? Are you around people that are bitching all the time? Are you around people who are positive, who are encouraging, who are supporting you? Like that makes a difference in how you show up in the world, right? And so just so you know, guys, Cutco, like you're not going to just get knife skills, you will learn about knives. I don't really give a shit about knives. I've been doing this for 20 years. The products are amazing. All right. Amazing. And you heard Melissa and Mina and their moms have them and aunt, like they're amazing. But what I love about this job is the skills for life that you gain here. Cool. So I would say there's knife skills and there's life skills. And the life skills are what you're going to take with you 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. Cool. And so we're super excited about that. So back to the manual. So in the manual, you have here, so showing Cutco customers, and then we start. This is the presentation. So there's kind of like 7 steps to your sale. The first step is just connecting with the customer, right? So you guys are going to build rapport, chit chat with them. You know, they're going to pull up yourcutcodemo.com. That's what they see. And by the way, what they see, you always see a picture of what they're looking at in your manual. Do you guys see this picture right here? Give me a thumbs up if you see the picture. All right, awesome. Well, let me show you. Their website is yourcutcodemo.com, right? So let's go to yourcutcodemo.com, and it's going to show you what they're seeing. Do you guys see that? All right. So that's what they're seeing when you're talking to them. So you're like, oh, let me tell you about me, or what, you know, what I'm doing. And so you're sharing with them. And then once you're sharing, then it says, okay, go ahead and scroll down a little bit until you see the white and blue slides that say, thanks for helping me reach my goals. Do you see those? And they scroll and they're like, oh yeah, I see that. And you're like, all right, awesome. We're off to a great start. Everyone see that? All right. So again, you have what they're looking at. Then we're like, hey, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? Guys, this is one of the most important things you're going to do on your demo. I tell people, like, if you get damn good at this, you will rock this job. All right. And we can teach you guys. And why is this important? Because people like to be a part of something bigger than themselves. Cool. And so if you're just the knife salesperson, they're thinking, hey, who needs knives, right? Which for most people is no one, because everyone already has knives, right? Like that's a very small market. But when they think, hey, wow, this girl, Mina, is super excited about gaining skills and this and that, wants to open a firm and wants to do this, or whatever it is that you're wanting to do, they get tied into that. They're like, wow, that's awesome. And you show them how this is going to help you. That's the thing, right? Here's what I want to do. And here's how Cutco can help me. This is what's the game changer and what's going to impact your business the most. Cool. So when I started, I told customers, so Ms. Jones, so I actually randomly heard about Cutco through school, had no idea what it was. And it's a huge student program. And I'm actually super excited because they teach us communication skills and work on communication skills, time management, organization. I'm working on presentation skills and interpersonal skills. They actually have internships in management and entrepreneurship where I can actually run my own business. And actually, that's exactly what I want to do one day. I want to be an entrepreneur. And so getting a chance to land that internship and get that experience is something that would help me so much for my future. So I'm doing everything I can to stand out right now as a top performer so that I can earn a top spot. Cool. So keep a lookout, because if you see anything for like wedding gifts, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas gifts, you want to get ahead on, or whatever it is, anything you might need for upcoming events for gifts, or anything you see for you, oh my gosh, Ms. Jones, let me know. Because not only are you getting a heck of a product, but it helps me out so much for my goals. And they're like, oh, okay, honey, but like, are you sharing with them? Like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I want to do in the future. And here's how this can help me. So start thinking about that, because you guys are going to want to put that when we set up your app of like how this benefits you, right? So think about it. Do you need to get better with communication skills, right? Do you need to gain a little more self-confidence? Do you want to know how to run a business? Do you need to get better with organization and time management, right? Do you want to improve your interpersonal skills? Like, what are the skills you're going to need to help you be like unbelievable? One of our guys, oh my gosh, his name just slipped my mind. Jay Vaughn. So Jay Vaughn, his goal, and he told his customers, he's like, hey, as you can imagine, a lot of my friends are just laying around watching Netflix, but I'm using this opportunity to gain some new skills. And I appreciate you seeing my demo. And he told me, he's like, so I'm actually going to A&M to study construction science. My goal is to take over my dad's construction company one day, right? And so I really want to work with him. He won't even let me yet, because he says like I'm too young or I don't know enough. And so I'm really excited about doing this job and showing him that I can be a top performer, that I can run my own business. I want to get into the leadership academy the company has, because they teach us leadership from John Maxwell. They teach us finances with Dave Ramsey. They teach us a bunch of different things. And being able to show my dad, like, look, Dad, like, look what I just did with $250 million company, and I think that'll make him like really impressed. And so he would share with his customers, like, so I'm doing everything I can to stand out and be one of the top performers. And so keep a lookout for anything that you might see, like I have this fast start contest in my first 10 days. His goal was to sell 10,000, which he sold 11,000, but sharing them like, oh, I really want to sell this. be able to put on my resume. And he told him, he's like, I want to sell 10,000 so that I can put on my resume that I hit the highest level an entry level rep can make in their first week, that I hit 4 promotions. And so that I have that on my resume and that can stand. And his customers were like, wow, that's awesome. And they're excited to be a part of that journey. And then there's a President's Club letter. Guys, this is a hand-signed letter from the president of the company that you guys can gain. And again, we're going to review all this tomorrow, but it is freaking awesome. You have the All-American Scholarship for those who are students. As a full-time student, you have a chance to win scholarship. And then, boom, you're like, hey, auntie, you guys see this? Hey, since I just started, I'm going to be reading from my manual. Is that okay? And they're like, of course. Like, they don't care. And you guys are going to see, we're going to teach you tomorrow how to call people. You are not calling anyone tonight. Everyone got that? You will have homework tonight, but it will not be calling people. Tomorrow, I'm going to teach you how to call people and set up your first appointments. And you're not going to just call them up and be like, yo, I got these knives. Can I show you? You know, and they're like, what? It's very laid back. It's very chill. All right. When you guys call them and you're literally like, oh, hey, grandma, or hey, auntie, it's Kaylee. You're like, oh, the reason I'm calling, I just started a new job showing Cutco. You know, part of my training, I have to do some initial appointments. I'm doing it for the training. So you don't have to get anything because I get paid just to do it. So you told them that on the phone already. So it's not weird if you say, hey, is it cool if I use my manual? Because I know you just started. Does that make sense? Like if you didn't read your manual and you were like amazing, they'd be like, wait, I thought you said you just started a new job and you had to practice. Like, I'm very confused. So just know that it's very normal to do that with them. All right. And so then you have Vector Impact app. So we do use that. We're going to set that up here in a bit, but you go ahead and read this with them. All right. And we're going to show you guys this and Claudia help us set this up. And then we transition to the demo and you're like, hey, so like I said on the phone, you don't have to get anything. Cool. But keep a lookout. I always say that. My manager taught me that. He's like, I'm like, but keep a lookout. I'm like, because if you do see something you like, and I give examples, I'm like, for like weddings, birthdays, Mother's Day coming up, Father's Day coming up, you know, like any activities you have, or anything for you, I'm like, you know, you can definitely get it today. I'm like, not only would you be getting a great product, but it would be helping me out so much towards my goals. Cool. And I actually only work through referrals. So my biggest goal is that you like me in Cutco and recommend me to some of your friends. Cool. And so Cutco is awesome. You can buy pieces, you have gifts and accessories, and you keep going from there. Everyone feel good? All right. Once we've done the intro part, then we're like, hey, so the first part of my presentation is a short video that shows the quality of Cutco. And so guys, what this video is going to do, it's going to tell them about like the common things people have in their homes, right? It's going to tell them a little bit about Cutco, the factory, the background. I mean, these products have been around since 1949, made in the USA, everything's guaranteed forever. That's huge, huge reason why people invest in Cutco. And so we'll talk about this tomorrow, but it's just so important that you keep them engaged during the video. Cool. You don't want video on and now they're like checking email, talking to their kid, whatever, because there's a video on. The video has so much information you need them to hear if you want them to buy. Does everyone understand that? So the video is going to establish credibility for the company. It's going to create a problem as to why good knives are needed. It's going to show why Cutco is so good and the features and benefits of Cutco, and why these are the best freaking products ever. Okay. And it's just going to show them some cool stuff. About 10 minutes. All right. Is the video. And then once we finish the video, then we go to, excuse me. Now we go to the tools, all right, and showing them the different tools. And so our homemaker set is our basic set. It's 7 knives, 2 forks, and a spatula. It was designed in 1949 to be the minimum number of tools to do 100% of the jobs in the kitchen as efficiently as possible. Cool. And so you're going to walk them through them. And it tells you what to say about each tool. Cool. So you're like, hey, you can buy individual pieces. Most customers agree that over a lifetime, sets are a much better value. It's important to have the right tool for the right situation because of safety and efficiency. We let them know there's 2 larger set options for people who love to cook, but we're going to start with the basic set. Cool. Because that is the most popular. This is the most purchased set since 1949. This is the one my grandma has since 1957. All right. And like I said, it's 7 knives, 2 forks, and a spatula. And so you're like, yeah, so it's the best value for the average family. And it starts with your paring knife. Cool. And so now we're going to go through each tool. And if you guys stay to watch the video today, you'll see like how he interacts with them and goes through, but have fun during this part. So like there'll be a video that they're watching of cutting happening while you're talking. You're not quiet during the videos. You're always talking. All right. Especially the product videos. Cause it's just quiet. Then like, it's just someone cutting. Right. So you don't need to be quiet. You're literally saying this as they're watching the product be used. Cool. And so you'll see that, and you'll see that on this slide. So this is the video. These are the homemaker set pieces. So let me just show you guys an example of what I'm talking about. All right. So we go here and we start the video. So as we're talking to the customer, what did I just do? Pressed it too many times. I keep moving the slide. I'm not pressing play. All right. So anyway, when this little video is playing, they see that. So we go through the tools, and then once we do that, the last things we're going to compare prices and let them know like how this compares with what's out there, right? And we're going to talk about prices tomorrow. But just so you know, if you're comparing prices, you want to go to like Williams-Sonoma. All right, Williams-Sonoma, Sur La Table. They carry the highest brand stuff. Macy's carries a range, and Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond and Macy's have from the cheap crap to the good stuff. Cool. And just like anything in the world, there's a wide range of quality and prices available. Cool. Just so you guys are aware, our stuff is not cheap. Our starter sets run between, we have gift sets that are, I don't know, $60 to $150. We have starter sets, which are very, very popular, that are between like $350 to $800. We have our medium sets that are between like $900 to $1,300. And our larger sets are over $2,000. Cool. So it's kind of like Craftsman tools or Snap-ons. Anyone here know a mechanic? We're going to talk about this tomorrow, but anyone know a mechanic? No. Okay. Well, if you talk to a mechanic, they know like they spend a lot of money on tools. Like they could have a wall unit in their shop, and the wall unit, guys, is thousands of dollars. Okay. Like 5, 7, 10 grand or more. My friend Autumn, her husband started his own shop, and his wall unit that he got and he financed it was $16,000. Okay. I went to my friend Jenny's house to do a demo when I first started. Her dad's a mechanic. Her mom's a preschool teacher. I thought like, oh, they'll probably buy like a $400 set. Right. And I'll show you guys why. I don't know if you remember from your interview, but we do payments, right? So if someone buys $400, which by the way is our average sale, if someone buys a $400 order, all right, if we look at this, most of our customers are middle class, so they don't pay in full, okay? Most of them do our investment options. That's how like majority of our sales are. So what a customer would put down today to get their product is they would put down $80. Cool. That's what they would put today. And they would get the products. They have 3 weeks to use them, make sure they love them. Worst case, send it back. They had free Cutco for 3 weeks. Everyone got that? All right. But most people do keep the Easy Pay, and the Easy Pay is literally the same amount for 4 more months. Cool. Is what it looks like. And so I always let customers know that. I'm like, yeah, the company does that just because nobody like budgeted and put aside money for the random knife girl that was going to call. And many times when they see it, they love it. And so basically you would just want to put aside $20 a week in the budget to make sure that you have that ready to go. And so for each of you, that would be like $10 each. And so I always like to show them that. Right? Who here knows someone who spends $20 a week on random crap? Raise your hand if you know someone. All right. If you know anyone that likes Starbucks, they spend more than $20 a week typically on stuff. Smokers, holy crap. Like I knew people that smoked a pack a day. Like they spend more than $20 a week, you know? And so people spend $20 all the time and don't even think about it. So the payments make it super helpful to have bigger orders. Cool. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. We're going to talk about the market, what else is out there, how to show payments, but just know that you're representing something. If someone wants, they could buy 10 grand. Actually, Brian Carter, well, how much was the sale the other day? Like 16 grand. Brian Carter, he had his biggest sale, but he had a $16,000 order. You know, Francisco Herrera on Tuesday sold like a $5 grand order, right? $5 grand order, and then he had a $1,000 order, then he had a $2,000 order. I was like, holy shit. And that does not happen all the time. Okay. I'll show you guys the averages right now. You guys are going to create an account tomorrow or actually Saturday morning. You guys will actually have your account to do all your pay stuff. And it's on vectorconnect.com, right? And I'll show you guys the averages real quick, but you'll set up your own account, and this has like so many cool things for y'all. My account. All right. If we go here and there's like financial guides, tax guides, like the library has audio library, document library, social media image library, video library, and it's so much great content from some of the best in our company. All right. And then here is the last thing I want to show you guys. If we go to stats, sales and CPO, you'll see your stats versus others. All right. And so you guys can look here and look at the company averages. So average order nationally is 357. Cool. And then here in our division, it's $400 or like whatever, I'm 30 cents off, right? But that's the average. So just so you guys can see what that looks like. And then as a company, we average like 7 to 10 referrals per appointment. Cool. We used to average about 5. And then the new app that came out last year, we were averaging 9.4 referrals as a company, which is huge. All right. So, cause even just with 5, just to show you guys how it snowballs, you know, if you guys did 10 practice appointments with like your parents, grandma, aunt, best friends, neighbors, you know, like best friends, parents, best friends. But if you did 10 practice appointments to start off with, and let's just say you only got 5 referrals from each of them. Okay. So I'm going to put recos. All right. That means you have 50 new people to go see. Do you guys see that? All right. If you got 5 from each of those, you know, well, now we have 250 new people to go see. Right. And then if you got 5 from each of those, you guys can do math here, right? Maybe a little bit. So 200, and it just keeps growing. So it's a snowball effect. So it's all friends of friends of friends of friends. I'll tell you right now, it was my number one biggest concern when I started this job. I was like, what happens when I run out of people, you know? And then I did my first weekend, I did 7 appointments and I had over 120 new people to see. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. And we're going to show you guys exactly how to do that. And I will tell you right now, if people like you and they like what you're up to, you're going to get referred to more. Cool. If they're just thinking about Cutco and the knives, you're going to average 2 to 3 referrals per appointment, just so you know. All right. So we're going to guide you guys. We're going to give you everything that you need to succeed at a very freaking high level with us. Does that sound good? Can I get a thumbs up? Thumbs up. All right, awesome. So what we're going to do a quick little meet and greet. All right. So you guys can meet some of the managers. And I break you guys out into, let's see, who do we have? We got Cass, Claudia, Erica. So we'll do 3. We'll do 3 rooms for you guys to meet and greet. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Who are you in here under, Miss Erica? You're here as yourself. Oh, you're not. All right. Well, we are going to do a 10-minute break. And during this break, so you can go grab food and stuff really fast. Here's what's going to go down. All right. So that you guys know. So we need you guys to do 2 things. Number 1, if you haven't already, you should have received an email that says verify your info. Cool. We want to make sure that that's verified. Just so I know, is there anyone who's not in the like Houston metro or Huntsville area? Is there anyone that lives outside of that area? Okay. Well, Beaumont, you're good. Mina, where are you at?
I'm in Lubbock, Texas.
Okay. So Mina, let's look at yours during the break real quick. And Kaylee, where are you located?
I'm also Lubbock.
In Lubbock. Okay, cool. Just so we can make a plan and make sure that you're here. So perfect. So we're going to verify your info. That's number 1. Number 2 is you are going to download an app, which is how we're going to do all of your business. So let me go ahead and re-put it. Nope. What did I do? Okay. She's going to put it there while I share my screen. So you're going to go to vectorimpactapp.com. All right. Vectorimpactapp.com. When you guys go here, it says download Vector Impact for iPhone or download Vector Impact for Android. Cool. Private app made by our company for people in our company. So it's not public. It's not on the App Store because if anyone else download it doesn't do anything for them. Right. So it's a private app. So it will tell you to trust the app, right? And I'll show you guys, it's the same thing we tell customers when we do stuff. It's the same thing here. So I'll just kind of walk through this here with the app itself. Let me see here. There we go. All right. So if you are an iPhone user, you're going to go to settings. All right. Everyone see this here? So you're going to go to settings. So first you hit download, right? And then you're not going to see it downloading. You're like, oh my gosh, why is it not downloading? Go to settings, hit general, then device management, then trust, verify, my Cutco rep. Does everyone see that? That's what you do if you're an iPhone. If you are an Android, you're going to click on settings, and then you're going to give Chrome permission to install. Everyone see that? So basically right now, while you guys go grab food, make sure you download that and make sure that you guys verify your personal information. So we have you all set up so that we can get all your contract stuff done to sign papers tomorrow. And then Saturday, get you guys making some money quick. Sounds good? So you guys have the next 10 minutes, go grab snacks, go grab whatever you need. If you have questions, we're here so that we can help you all out.
I need your participation so that I know that you're good to go through this section. So was everyone able to download the Vector Impact app? Thumbs up. Everyone's able to get the app downloaded? Alrighty, awesome. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to get logged into the app. Now it's going to ask you for your recruit ID number or your rep number. Alrighty, that is going to be, you should be able to pull that number from when you verified your information. It should say recruit ID number. That is the same thing as your rep number. So when you receive the email asking you to verify your information, or you receive the Vector Impact app email, it's going to have your recruit ID number in it. And if you don't have it or you can't find it, just shoot Erica a message here. Alrighty, shoot Erica or Cassandra a message and they'll get that over to you. But you need it to log into the app, okay? And it's also going to ask for your like your last name and your first name to confirm you are who you are. So whatever you put when you verified your information, that's what you need to use to log into the app, because that's where it gets the information from. If you haven't verified information yet, it will not allow you to log into the app. Alrighty, if you haven't verified your information yet, it will not allow you to log into the app. So make sure you get that verified and make sure you use that information to get logged in, okay? Now, once you are logged in, we are gonna set up your profile. Alrighty, we're gonna set up your profile. So how do we do that? You should see, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen with you. It's gonna ask you to take a selfie, right? Or post like a profile photo, okay? Now, this is really important because this is what your customer is gonna see as well, okay? It's gonna ask for a little bit of information about you. Now, I have some examples here that I wanna share with you, but this is gonna be very important. So thumbs up if you're at this space already. Thumbs up. Okay, so go ahead and get logged in. Go ahead and get logged in. Give you a few moments there to get logged in. But once you get logged in, it should bring you to your account and it should look something like this. Now, the thing that I want to mention that's most important is when you are uploading a photo here, this is very important. So this isn't a photo that you would post on Snapchat, a silly photo that disappeared in 24 hours, or like a joke that you would share with a friend. Okay, this is going to be a professional photo. Now, some of you may have a professional headshot. Go ahead and upload that, or a professional school photo. Go ahead and upload that. If you don't have one, it's okay. Alrighty, you want to go ahead and post a photo that shows you in a good light. And what do I mean by that? All right, so maybe you have a photo with a family photo with you and your children, or you and your family, all right, your siblings, or maybe you have like an action or active photo of you playing sports or something that best describes you. That's what you want to place here, okay? And if you're just going to place a selfie, I'd make it just a plain selfie, plain wall behind you, or a photo that shows you in good lighting. Again, nothing silly, but because this is what your customer sees. Alrighty, our entire business is streamlined in this amazing app. I'm telling you now, I wish we had this in 2013 when I started, because life would be so much easier. I literally live out of composition notebooks. I still live out of composition notebooks, but this app has made things way, way, way easier, okay? And it's gonna be awesome for you all because it puts everything in one spot. Now, we're gonna dive into a little bit of this app today, but over the next 2 days in training, we'll go more in depth, okay? So today we wanna focus on getting it set up. Now, it's going to have you enter, again, your first and last name. It's going to have you put your phone number here on screen, and you're going to put your email address. Now, I'm sharing these two profiles here because they're well put together. They're two two different profiles, by the way, and from two of our top representatives and top district managers. Okay. So I'm going to share here. If you look at Cassandra's on the right, she entered a little bit about herself. All righty. Now you're all going to have this here, and you want to write a few things down, and you can go ahead and upload it here. We'll be reviewing it with you tomorrow. We'll be reviewing this portion of your app, making sure it's all squared away before you send this out to your first demos. So Cassandra, she attended the University of St. Thomas. She's a graduate there. She graduated with a bachelor's of arts in applied mathematics and a minor in data science. She's a district manager for the East Houston office. All righty. So it's great things to place in this area. A little bit about you. So where do you go to school? If you're not currently in school, what is something that you aspire to do? All righty. What are some of your hobbies? What are some of the things that you enjoy doing with your family? Go those things there. Like if you look at Monica's, she says, I'm a psychology graduate of 2020 who is an aspiring forensic psychologist. My hobbies are working out and experimenting with recipes in the kitchen. I look forward to becoming a business owner and building financial wealth for myself while creating a life where I'm free to travel to learn more about people and food. I also look forward to the opportunity to give back in large amounts to various communities. Alrighty. So here you are just sharing a bit about yourself. And like I said, this is really important because this is what your customer sees. This profile directly impacts your business. All righty. When you're asking for recommendations, this is what your recommendations will see. All right. When they want to know a little bit about you, when your customer is sharing your profile with them, your customer's like, hey, I actually just had an amazing time with Monica. She's a graduate student. She loves cooking. She aspires to own her own business and create financial freedom and just continue to give back on a huge level, right? Like, by show of hands, doesn't Monica sound like an attractive person that you would love to give 45 minutes of your time to? Right? It's just contagious. And just in me talking about it, that's the same feeling you want your customers to have about you. And that's the same feeling you want them to relay to the recommendations, because when they meet you, they're already going to know something about you, and they're already going to be excited, fired up to help you with anything that you do. All right. Because they're like, man, this person's awesome at 18, 19, 20, 25, or 30. Like, I wish I was, doing that. Right. You're going to hear that a lot from your customers. Oh my God, I wish I did this at your age, or I wish I had the opportunity to have done that. You're going to hear that a lot. All righty. It's very important that we get this section set up and that your team captain reviews it tomorrow before you head out, because again, this is what they're going to be seeing. So I'm going to give you a few moments to go ahead and jot down some goals, get some things here in the system, and then we're going to dive into the next portion. Okay. So I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. I'm going to put some music on. Once you're done, go ahead and type done in the chat box. Cass, if you can open the chat box for everyone, that'd be awesome. So I can see people's responses. Once you're done setting up the Vector Impact app, go ahead and just type done in the chat box, and we're going to dive in from there.
We were talking about this, because she was like, oh my God, all this stuff that says like scam, this is a scam or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? 19 years ago, my friends were like, Kat, look. And I was like, well, I'm going to try this scam out because they work with our school and I can get college credit, and it worked out pretty damn well. And this is actually used in the curriculum, by the way, at Purdue University. Purdue is the only school where if you're a business, like a business student in marketing, you actually cannot graduate without working with us, because it's one of the requirements to get your bachelor's degree at Purdue in business and marketing. But it's used at Illinois State University. It's used at UT Austin, Oklahoma City University, Alabama, University of South Alabama, Boston College. One of my guys went to school there and he got college credits there. It's used at Babson, NC State. And then these are schools that actually one of the classes is they incorporate our training and everything. And part of their grade in the class is how well they do with us. So just so you guys know that. So, that was big, because when I started, my mom's like, get a real job. What is this? I'm like, Mom, this is literally used in college classrooms. It's written about in textbooks. I can get scholarships, I can earn college credit. I'm going to try it out. Right. But just so you guys know that, but you're going to hear, there's people that didn't succeed with the company and they blame everybody else but themselves. And I'll tell you right now, there's only 2 reasons people fail when Cutco. They're lazy as shit, or they just don't follow the program. Okay. That's the only way to fail here. You to try, we have a perfect recipe for success. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into preparing you guys for your first weekend. And this was probably one of the most valuable exercises that my manager did with me that helped me, because when I started, like Melissa, you mentioned you had like 30 people on your list. I had 17. I had put 17 down before I came to training that I could practice with. But when we did this exercise, I was able to get a list of over 100 people, which was really helpful. And I'm going to give you a couple guiding factors before we dive in. So first, everyone needs pen and paper. Don't write anything down until we say go, because we're gonna have a little contest with this. We love contests. All right. But so here's the deal. Here's what this looks like. So we're going to do a brain like dump, like literally like any human. You're not using your cell phone. You're not using computer. You're not cheating. This is a brain dump. And you're going to notice that it'll get hard sometimes. Like you'll get stuck for sure. All right. Don't stop. So here's the rule, like keep your pen to paper. Like this is a psychological thing. When you put your pen down, it tells your brain I'm done. Everyone understand that? But if you keep your pen on the paper, it's like searching, like, okay, who else, right? And keep in mind, your subconscious is really powerful. Don't go, I don't know anyone. Change it to who do I know? Cool. I'm going to give you thought joggers. And so I might say, deacons from your church, right? And you might be like, I don't go to church. Don't say that, because that's a blockage. Say, who do I know that goes to church? Right? Keep it open. And you're not going to have someone in every category, but sometimes you'll notice I'll say something and you're like, oh, and you'll write someone and it brings up like 2 or 3 more people. And you're going to see that happens too. All right. So to match this exercise, here are the rules. All right. Do not go yet because we're going to have a contest, but here are the rules. Number 1, no cheating. All right. This is brain only. Number 2, they could live anywhere in the world. Got it? They just have to be alive, but they can live anywhere in the world. Number 3, it's only people over 30. So a couple of us are over 30. Going to be over here soon. But a couple of us are over 30. Most of you are not. Okay. So I'm going to assume that most of your friends are in their 20s. And so although they're not a target customer, who is? Their parents. Yeah, right, Mina. So their parents are. So when you think of your friend Sandra, you're going to put her mom down. All right. So you're like Sandra's mom, Julie's mom, or Miss Gutierrez, or however you know them as, right? Now the last rule is everyone you write is one household. Got it? So I would put Tia and Theo, like one of my aunts are married, and I would put them on one line. That's one person, one household. But then like my other aunt is divorced. So I would put Titi Rachel and then Tio Eugenio separate because it's 2 different households. Everyone got that? If your 32-year-old cousin lives at his mom's house, you're only putting his mom. Everyone got that? So one household per thing. Don't write anything yet. All right. Everyone show me your pen. Show me your pen or pencil. All right. So when I say go, start writing. And then by the way, don't write yet. And if you don't know their name, you could put like dog lady, like that lady that always walks her dog by you. All right. And let me say this before we say go. I'm going to give you one last thing. There's 4 groups of people that everybody has. Okay. Group number 1, you know them super well. Like you got a flat tire, something happened, you could call them, you could ask for a favor, like, them super well. For some of you, this group is very small. It might just be 2 or 3 people. For some of you, it might be humongous because you're super involved with so much. Everybody knows you and you're super close to everyone. All right. So that's going to be different for everyone. This group was small for me, not because I didn't know people, but because I was kind of embarrassed. I was expelled in high school. I got in a lot of trouble. A lot of things happened. And so I started this job when I was a junior in college, and I was like, shit, I haven't talked to people in like 5 years or years, like, that I knew. So my group 2 was a bigger. So group 2 are people that know of you or you know of them, or it's just been a long time since you talked to them. Right. So it'd be kind of weird if I was like, hey, what's up? I started this job. Can I come over? Like, huh? Like, it's like, I haven't talked to you in 5 years. Right. So that's group 2 are people that you like know of, they know of you, but you don't talk to them on the regular. Maybe you just see them 2 or 3 times a year. Everyone know what I'm talking about? All right. You see them at like aunt's birthday party or Thanksgiving dinner or something. That's group 2. Group 3, they're a similar association, but you've never met them, right? Dog lady was one of mine. There was this lady in my parents' neighborhood that always walked her dog, and he was like, like yapping, and she'd always wave. And like, I didn't know her, but like I knew of her. Does that make sense? Like she was from my neighborhood. And so maybe it's someone from your neighborhood, maybe it's someone from church, maybe it's someone from your kid's school, and so like you have a connection of something, right? Like some similar association, but you've never met before. Everyone got that? All right. Group 4, really don't know that they're alive on this planet, and they don't know you're alive on this planet either. All right. And so that might be some of your friends' parents. That might be, you know, because like you met them at school doing a school project and you've never met their family, right? And they haven't talked to their family about you or whatever. You know, maybe it's referrals you get because Melissa, you go see one of your best friends and she refers you to a bunch of her friends and maybe some coworkers that you've never met before at all. Like never. So if you've never met them, like they've never been introduced to you, don't touch those. We're going to stockpile those. Cool. So you have like over 100. We're going to stockpile those, but you're going to see when you get referrals this weekend, you're going to have people from all those groups. You know, you're going to have like your aunt gives you something. You're like, oh, you know, you see her every time you come over for my blah, blah party. And you're like, oh yeah, I remember her, you know, but like, you're going to have people from all those groups. So, and we're going to show you guys step-by-step how to contact them. Okay. And so it's kind of like driving a car. Like I learned that the only way my dad would let me get my license was learning how to drive stick shift, right? And so I had to learn. And has anyone driven a stick shift car? Anybody? There's like gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, gear 5, reverse. Does anyone know what happens if you go from gear 1 to like 5 or 1 to 4? All right, the car stops. It stalls. Doesn't work like that. You have to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 if you want to drive it right. Everyone give me a thumbs up if you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. Same thing here. If you try to go straight to 3 or 4, you're going to stall out. You're not going to do very well. Okay. So we're going to start with group 1 this weekend. And some of you are going to also see some of group 2 this weekend. Cool. You're going to have a comfort to do that. Awesome. No problem. And so we'll guide you on that. All right. Because there's a different approach for group 2. All right. And we'll show you how to contact them. Tomorrow, we're just going to show you group 1. All right. And if you need group 2, we'll show you that as well. But you're going to learn group 2 on Monday is the plan. Or Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. I have to look at the schedule again. And then you're going to learn group 3 at the end of your first week or second week, typically, you know, whenever you need it. And then group 4, you know, just we'll look to see where you're at when you do need that. Those are tougher because you don't have a connection with them. Okay. So just know that. But as you gain more and more comfort and confidence, do you think you'll want to see everyone? Oh, hell yeah. If you told Cass right now, Cass, I have 10 people that you can go, she'd be like, give it to me. Let's go, you know, or Claudia or Erica or any of them, because they've done this for 4 years, 5 years, 7 years, and they have a different level of confidence in the job. And I noticed that just after like 6 to 8 months, I was like, give me anyone, you know, like I had no problem. Even though at first I was really nervous when I started this and I felt weird. I didn't know what people would think, all this stuff. But it's not weird unless you make it weird. Don't be weird. All right. Just have a good time, have fun, and let them know what you're excited about. So we're going to start this exercise. All right. Again, listen up. I don't care what gear they're in. We're putting all gears down. We're going to get organized after. We're going to show you how to get organized right now. It's brain dump. Everyone ready, set, go. First names only is fine. If you don't know their name, label them. Red door lady, pickup truck, dog lady, doesn't matter. So start with all of your family. Don't forget your family. They all count. Parents, aunts, uncles, grandma, grandpa. All right. Make sure, think about like, do you have cousins, you know, that are over 30 with a job that live on their own? I know Jarrell Williams. Jarrell had 3 brothers over 30, you know, and he saw them and got some great sales and great referrals, you know, so maybe you have some siblings, you know, maybe people that married into the family, or, you know, no longer a part of the family, but stepmoms, step uncles, step aunt. If you were going to have a big family reunion, who would come to it? Remember to include family from different states and cities, all right? Think about, did any of your family members have a wedding recently? Who were in the wedding pictures? Who sends you birthday cards? Who calls you or texts you on your birthday? All right, a great category also is like friends' parents, right? Think about all your friends, even if you don't know the parents. Again, you can put Julie's mom, John's mom, you know, whoever. But think about, who do you hang out on a regular basis? We're not looking for who you think is gonna buy. We're literally brain dumping, okay? Who did you see yesterday for St. Patty's? Who are you hanging out with this weekend? Think about Facebook, you know, what recent posts have you seen? Don't look at your phone and cheat, but just think about it. Like, who do you see on Snapchat? Who do you see on TikTok? And again, describe them if you don't know their name, you know, but put them on there. Who are all of your friends? Who did you know from college? Who did you know from high school? Shoot, Adriano found his like middle school directory and contacted people from that. All right. Who's your best friend? Did you get their parents down yet? Think about when you were younger, you know, whose house did you go for sleepovers? Whose house do your kids go over for sleepovers? Whose mom or who do you know that's like super good at cooking? Maybe you had friends that moved to other schools. Like my friend Mariana in 2nd grade moved away. She was one of my best friends. How about ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends? I know some of you might be like, my first demo was with one of my ex-boyfriend's parents. All right. They bought $600 and gave me 20 referrals. That week, I saw one of my other ex-boyfriend's moms. She loves me. They actually had a Cutco for 17 years already. They added more, gave me a great testimonial and gave me 30 referrals. Because they loved me. You know, I remember one of our girls, Haley, she saw her ex-boyfriend's parents. She's like, oh, they love me. And she just booked it. And she told them like, just make sure he's not there when I come over. Cause she went over to have dinner with his mom and did the demo. And she gave her like a tote bag, all this stuff. She bought like over $1,000, gave her 20 referrals. It's pretty awesome. So you never know. Actually, that happened to Jessica too, I remember. All right. So think about that. Think about current, you know, girlfriend, boyfriends, close friends, like people that you've met their parents, you know, or that would introduce you to their parents. And if you're going there, you can keep going there. Or you can move on to family friends. Who do mom and dad hang out with? Right? Or your aunts, like some of their really good friends. You know, if your mom or dad was going to go to lunch, who would she go with? You know, if she's going to do her hair, her nails, like mom had Teresita, you know, and she cut our hair since we were little. My mom still does her hair with her, like 30 years later. All right. Think about, you know, if your dad was going to have like a poker night or your mom, you know, who would come? Family, friends, how many people you spend holidays with, you know, think about who comes over for Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July. You know, what did you do last year? I know it was a different year with COVID. Any plans for this year? Who was at any weddings you attended? I mentioned that before. Family, friends could be people that babysat you or that you babysat, right? Or people that your family exchanges, you know, gifts with for different holidays. So think about that. Keep writing. Do not take your pen off the paper. Think about people that maybe you watched the Super Bowl with, right? Or you've gone to games and gone tailgating, right? For any game. But I know Texas loves their football. So any tailgating for events, you know, think about people your parents work with. My mom, I went to go take her lunch one day when I had started this job, and I booked an appointment with the front desk receptionist, Idania, and her husband. They bought a galley. And I got like 15 referrals from them or something like that. I remember I booked an appointment with her boss, Carrie. Carrie bought $350 for me. She already owned Cutco and she gave me 20 referrals. I saw the guy who works in the office next to my mom that she can't stand. But when I was there giving her lunch, I introduced myself to him and I taught, and he's like, oh, hi, who are you? I'm like, oh, I'm Mickey's daughter. I said, I'm actually home from college right now, or whatever. And I shared with him what I was doing. I was like, I'm actually working with Cutco to get business experience. I have an opportunity to advance, they have different internships. And I was wondering if any nice people from mom's work might be able to help me. I was like, I get paid to see you and your wife, and I saw his wedding band, and he's like, oh yeah, my wife and I will definitely help you. I booked an appointment with them. My mom's like, I can't stand that guy. I went over, I had a blast with them, and they bought over $1,400 and they gave me 30 people to see. I was like, I love them. And my mom was like, what? So you never know. And my mom thought her boss would buy everything. She bought $300. And my mom thought the front lady, the receptionist, would buy nothing. And that lady bought $800. Like, you literally never know. And we're going to talk a lot about that tomorrow. All right. Think about people like, do you know your like mom's coworkers or bosses? Maybe you don't know their name. You can put mom's boss, dad's boss. My dad's old boss was my first $3,000 order. It was nuts. I could not believe it. And like, they obviously have a little extra income, and some people buy a lot because they cook like crazy. And some people buy a lot because like they like to have the best. Right. But that was pretty cool. Think about people that live near you, currently, or, back in the day. Think about some of your neighbors. All right. Like, who lives in an apartment complex or a dorm near you. All right. Maybe some of your suite mates, some of their parents. They all have someone that's help take care of them or mentor them or guide them, even if you haven't met them. Maybe your landlord. That was really helpful for Stephanie, one of our girls. And her landlord introduced her to a bunch of people too. So that's really awesome. And think about your family's neighbors, right? Growing up, if you lived with mom and dad, think about who lived to the left, who lived to the right, or who lived behind. Who had the nicest garden? Who had the biggest house on your street? Who had the most kids? Do you know any of your grandparents' neighbors? And again, you could put side neighbor, back neighbor. How about if you've ever moved before? Who were some of your previous neighbors? Tyler Tarr, one of our guys, when he started, he grew up in a neighborhood and he was there until I think he was like 14 or 15. And then he moved, and his mom moved to Kansas. His dad moved to Georgia, and like he had moved in with some friends. But he was like, can I go to my old neighborhood and just knock on the doors? They all know me. I was like, yeah. And he went to his old neighborhood and just went around the neighborhood, not with his stuff, but just to knock and say hi and, book an appointment with them. And he booked like 8 appointments in his old neighborhood. And I think he sold over $10,000 just there, and he's like, oh yeah, I grew up, like we all grew up together, and so some of you might have a neighborhood like that. I did not grow up in a neighborhood where we knew each other. But I did go check with some of my parents' neighbors because they got, they purchased a home when I was in college. So I came home and I went and knocked on some of the doors. I remember Dusty Davis. I met him. He was the front neighbor, him and his wife, Jennifer. And they purchased a couple $100. And they gave me 10 referrals. I saw the neighbor behind us and they bought over $1,000 and gave me like 20 referrals. The neighbor like 2 doors down bought a starter set, like $400, and gave me, over 10 referrals. And so again, we're going to teach you guys that. That's a sponsor when they give you 10 referrals. But it's pretty awesome. All right. So think about also like who lives in a neighborhood that you want to live in. All right. Give you a second there. We're going to move to the next. All right. And think about people from church, temple, or any religious affiliation that you might have, or maybe you don't have, but someone that does attend church or temple or any other, affiliation. Think about the minister. Think about the pastor. Think about the rabbi, right? Like we had started a new church when I was in college, and I talked to the pastor's wife, and she's like, of course you can come over. I think she bought like $100, but she gave me like 20 awesome referrals, and everybody loved her. All right. Everybody loved her. So think about, who leads the organization, right? Like anyone that leads the organization. How about some of the people who run part of that organization, like the youth minister, right? Like my youth minister actually sold Cutco back in the day, which is kind of cool. Who runs a Sunday school program? who's in your Bible study or study group. And again, if you don't personally go to church, who do you know that does? Because it's a lot of great families that you can see there. Did you ever have a mentor inside or outside of a religious setting? All right. Who did you sit by at church? Who did you avoid sitting with or your family? And again, if you're not religious, who do you know who is? All right. Think about siblings' parents. This was huge for me. I'm the oldest of four. I paid my brother $5 a person that he got me an appointment with. And I literally wrote him a couple bullet points and he called his friend's mom. He's like, hey, my sister's working with this company to gain some business experience. And he told me, he's like, he gets paid just to do it. Want to see if you'd be able to help her. Okay, cool. Here she is, and I booked appointments and I'd give my brother $5 every time. And I sold a lot to his friends. My sister's ex-boyfriend's parents had Cutco. They bought like another $400 from me and gave me great referrals. My sister's best friend, her mom bought over $2,000 from me. And she then started selling Cutco when she turned 17, which was kind of cool too. Like who are siblings, friends, cousins, friends that you've met before, Taylor's mom, Bob's mom, Tom's mom, who do you have? Next category is school. Again, don't put your pen down. Don't put your pen down and no cheating with phones. But I want you to think, who are professors, who are teachers that you have right now? Who did you have last summer? Who did you have in previous semesters? Like even if you don't know their name, write down all the classes you've ever taken. Think about subjects, right? You can look stuff up later. I remember Casey Downing went online and was just like looking at the school website at his old teachers and sent them emails. And we'll show you how to do that. But he got some great appointments like that. At my college, I got an appointment with my honors teacher, Dr. Woodfin, and then the other professor, I forgot his name, him and his wife. I did a demo for them at their house and again, got some great referrals. So think about, do you have an academic advisor that you had? Maybe the secretary of the front office you were super close to. And if it's been a while, just, try to think back to high school, because this is something where you can reconnect with some people too, if you wanted to, but who was the principal of your high school, right? Who was the vice principal? Mr. Andrews from our high school, I was too scared to see him. My sister's best friend went and saw, and they bought over $1,500 from her. I was so mad, think about the dean of the school. All right. If you went to multiple high schools, then you have multiple of these. Think about whoever sat in the front desk, did you know the school nurse? Who was the senior year advisor? Any of the librarians? Think about who was in charge of the gym, who was the band director. The thing in high school is there's usually a different teacher for every subject, right? And so you have physics, biology, geometry, algebra, calculus, trig, English, US history, geography, world history, and more. So you have a ton of teachers, but just think about, again, if you can't think of their name, just write down like the subject. Who's that one good looking teacher everybody liked, right? How about all the people that like were in National Honor Society? Who was in Spanish club? Who was the prom king or queen? All right, bus driver, lady in the cafeteria, janitor. Sarah, her school, she saw the janitor, they bought over $1,000. And her mom was like, don't waste your time, she's not gonna buy. But you know what? The janitor, her and her family cook like hell. They cook like crazy. I broke it down and they got a set that they were super excited about, Think about clubs or activities, Habitat for Humanity, Race for a Cure. Have you done any volunteer work? All right. Who do you know who has? Were you involved in Key Club? Think about leaders of clubs. Think about school president, vice president. All right. Have you ever learned how to play an instrument? Who taught you, right? Have you been in Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts? Did you learn how to play chess or bowling? Do you have anyone who taught you sports like weightlifting, horseback riding, or any other activities, right? Think about all the coaches. Maybe you didn't play sports, but you knew some of the coaches, right? Who was the varsity coach? Who was the JV coach? Basketball, football, tennis, volleyball, cruise, soccer, lacrosse, wrestling, baseball, cheerleading. Who are teammates you had? Who are other people you know? Maybe you didn't play the sport, but you know the coach. All right. Think about, like they all have moms. Think about JV coach, assistant coach. Oh, that just totally got me off guard. Martial arts, karate, taekwondo, All right, we're only going to spend a couple more minutes on here, so finish strong. Think about family doctors. I saw my eye doctor, Dr. Richard. He'd been our eye doctor for 16 years. I saw him and his wife, and they bought a homemaker set and gave me 20 referrals. All right, my mom's physical therapist, Gary, and his wife, they bought over $1,000 and gave me like 20 referrals as well. Don't be afraid. Do you have a dentist? Do you have an orthodontist? Do you have a pediatrician for your kids? So think about that. Do you have a barber or a hairdresser that you go to regularly, right? Like who cuts your hair? Like they know tons of people, right? Who do you know that's a realtor? Who do you know that buys and sells homes? All right. Do you know anyone else who's a lawyer? Have you ever used a lawyer? Maybe you got legal counsel or legal advice, right? Have your parents ever had a lawyer? How about mechanic, people that fix cars, people that do landscaping, pool cleaner? We became great friends with our pool cleaner. All right. He's awesome. Think about carpet cleaner, Stanley steamer, pest control, engineer, nurse, right? Do you have a veterinarian you take your animals to? Who do you know who's a babysitter? Who's in the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Navy SEALs? Who do you want to be most like? Who's your role model? You guys have like 30 seconds left. Who do you know that likes to do yoga? Who do you know likes to dance? Who do you know who's bald? Who do you know who's short? Who do you know that has twins? Who do you know that has more than one house? Who do you know that has more than one car? Anyone else you can think of in your whole life. Who's had plastic surgery, who has really big shoes, who plays professional sports, who's named Amanda, Barbara, Katie, who do you know that has really white teeth? All right. And you got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop writing. All right. No cheating. I can't see you, but no cheating. Do me a favor and count them up. All right. Count them up. Go. You have a couple seconds to count them up. I will tell you right now, again, if you don't have a Facebook profile, make one. All of my top people, I've had to make some because some of my 17 and 18-year-olds, they don't use Facebook, but Facebook, the demographic that uses it the most are 30 to 60-year-olds, which is exactly our demographic. So you want a Facebook so that you're able to like engage with your customers, tag them, celebrate them, right? Like when you hit goals for the week, you're like, thank you so much, Damina, you guys helped me hit my goal this week. Makes them feel so good. And it's a constant source of referrals for you. Okay. So I'm giving you a big nugget. If you don't have a Facebook, make one tonight. Even again, if you just use it for your Cutco business, it will do a lot for you. All right. But if you got to use Facebook, if you use Snapchat, if you used Instagram, if you went through your parents' address books, if you went through your whole cell phone, how many more numbers do you guys think you could come up with? Use yearbooks, photo albums. Hell yeah. Most people, it's hundreds, right? Most people's Facebook, even just their Facebook has over 1,000 friends on it. Okay. So I want to use all these resources to help you guys maximize and get the most number of names on your list. Okay. Now, like we said, there's different people. The group that is the best, we're going to hit this hard tomorrow as well. But just so you guys know who your best people are, and I want you to star them tomorrow when you guys get here. I want to know how many you have total and how many of these specifically. We call them MAC customers. Okay. And so write this down. The M is for married. All right. The M is for married. And why married versus single? Anyone want to guess? In the chat box. More cooking. All right. Yep. And more stability, right? 2 incomes coming in, right? So the A in MAC stands for average age, 30 to 60. All right. And so 30 to 60, why do you think that's better than 20s? Anyone want to guess why that's better than 20s? Yeah, more established. Okay, for sure. Anybody else you guys can put in there? And why do you think that 30 to 60 is better than like 70s, 80s, 90s? My 76-year-old grandma said, this is amazing. I wish I heard about this 20 or 30 years ago or 50 years ago. And she said, it's awesome, but like, I don't need to invest in products that are guaranteed forever. I'm 76. And I was like, Grandma, so morbid. All right, but it's true. And the C stands for casa or crib. All right, they own their own place. All right, they own their own casa or crib. Casa means house for those who don't speak Spanish. But they own their own place. So MAC. So just so you all know, if you guys work for a company that sells jacuzzis or fences or pool or anything for a home, the demographic that spends the most money on items for their home is 30 to 60-year-old married couples. Cool. So just so you guys know that. So just on a marketing standpoint, that is where you want to focus your marketing. Does that mean those are the only customers? Absolutely not. You're going to have other people that buy. I had 20-year-olds that bought. I had 70-year-olds that bought. You're going to have other sales, but that's where you want to focus your time on. Cool. And so I'm going to show you guys, because tonight, your big assignment for tonight is going to be to continue that list. All right. Let me ask you this. If I said, I'm going to hand you $2,000 tomorrow, if you can come with a list of 100 names and numbers, who feels that they could get 100 names and numbers if I'm going to hand you $2,000 tomorrow? Raise your hand if you could find a way and figure it out. Shit, I would be contacting. I mean, if you just use Facebook, you're like, hey, what's your cell? Hey, what's your cell? Hey, what's your cell? I gotta ask you a question. Hey, what's your cell? I gotta ask you a question. I'd sit down and be like, Mom, grab your cell phone. Let's start on A. Let's go. And I'd be writing down all her friends, and if I can just get them downloaded, even better. And I'd be doing lots of things. I'm going to show you guys different ways to collect phone numbers. Okay. But I will tell you right now, you don't have to have 100. But my guys who have come, like Bob came with 112, Nico came with 105. They found old school directories. They sat down with their parents, they sat down with their grandma, and they just went through. I mean, even if you only got 20 or 30 people from your aunt, and then from your grandma, and then from your mom, of people, again, that you can just practice with, all right? That's gonna make a really big difference, all right? But the goal is that everyone has a minimum of 30, all right? If not 50 or more phone numbers. Anyone who has 50 numbers tomorrow of people over 30 will be an automatic winner of a piece of Cutco that I will mail to your house. Cool. And it's a little incentive to help you guys get working, but it makes a big difference. And through the weekend, we're going to keep building that list because we're going to show you how to get referrals and how it multiplies. But it's kind of like a snowball, right? A snowball, if you like toss it down, like it's going to grow, but the bigger it starts, the faster it gets bigger, And so we want to pack that initial snowball as big as possible so that when we roll that sucker this weekend, it's just like, and it just like grows really fast. I will say this, if you're someone who's like, shit, I don't have a lot of people, I'm not connected, like don't stress yourself. I've literally had people, Matson, Wardy, Mariana, two of my best examples. Matson, Wardy had one person, all right? These guys weren't even from the country. So like they couldn't, like they're people, they were here for school. And Matson, his suite mate at his university at FIU, he was from Miami. The guy had an aunt from Miami. And Matson went with his roommate or suite mate over to his aunt's house. They had dinner together and he did the presentation. And she bought a couple things, but more importantly, she gave him 50 people. I was like, dude, hook her up with free Cutco if she just introduces you to all her nice friends. And they went through her cell phone and she just like selected everyone. It's super easy. And he got over 50 referrals. And that, by the way, he was number 13 All-American Scholarship winner of that campaign and one of our best ever, ran his own office, all the other things. Mariana Gayani moved here from Venezuela. Same scenario. She didn't live in a dorm. Her and her parents moved here 3 months prior. Her aunt had moved here a couple months before that. She saw her aunt and her parents. Her aunt had a couple people from work, right? She got 2 or 3 people from her aunt. She saw those people, but those people were from Florida, were from the States. And they gave her, one gave her 10, one gave her 20, one gave her whatever. And she hit her promotion that week. And within 2, and this is what I told her, and I'll tell you, if you don't have a ton of people, within 2 weeks, like anyone can have the business they want. Okay. Just give yourself at least 2 weeks to build it properly. But again, the more you do tonight, the faster you'll see bigger paychecks. All right. So just so you guys know that as a heads up to make sure that we help you guys capitalize on that. All right. So we're going to show you guys, I want to show you how to collect phone numbers and excuse me, get you guys organized with the app. All right. But before we do the app, I want to show you guys a couple things. So I gave you guys a couple ideas, right? And if you didn't write those down, do, but like directories, school directories, neighborhood directories, church directories, cell phones, sit down with auntie, grandma, mom, anyone to just go through. And you're asking who's nice, cool? Who's nice that I can practice with? That's what you're asking. You're not asking who's going to buy, who would be interested in Cutco, none of that crap. Who's nice that I could practice with? All right. The demo is going to take you about 30 minutes. And so you just want anyone who's nice that you can practice with. And you can tell them, hey, there's even a chance you can get some free Cutco. All right. And so every customer, you can hook them up with free Cutco for referring you guys to people. There's like a vegetable peeler that's out of this freaking world that I'll show you tomorrow. It's like $40 and you guys can buy it for them for like $7. Okay. And so it's called a CGA peeler, customer generated appointment peeler. And it's exactly for that, to incentivize customers and thank them for helping refer you to people. Sounds good? So again, we're going to talk about that more tomorrow and on Saturday. But just are aware of that. We're going to show you guys how to grow. So I do want to show you on my Vector demo, all right, real quick, how to reach out to people to collect more phone numbers, all right? Like maybe some of your friends, parents that you want to see, but you don't have their number. I want to show you guys where that is. So please write this down so you can find it. So you're going to go to myvectordemo.com, right? myvectordemo.com. Please write that down. Cass, can you put it in the chat box, please? All right, and then you're going to click phoning. You see on the top, there's product details, which you guys can go ham if you want to on that. There's gifts and accessories, which you're actually going to read that to the customers, and we're going to practice that Saturday. But again, get ahead tonight, no problem. Phoning, all right, and then there's the recos. The last page is the referrals, right? So you're going to click phoning, and once you click phoning, all right, by all means, feel free to read all this. We're going to cover this tomorrow. All right, but it shows you the phone approach. Again, do not call people tonight. Everyone got that? Do not call, like, to set an appointment. If you want to call grandma or auntie to make a list of people you can practice with, yes, but not to set up appointments, okay? I want to make sure you guys do it properly. So it has here how to answer questions. There's a video here you can watch. It's 10 minutes. We're going to watch it tomorrow. But Stacy is actually phoning live, so you can see what it looks like, what it sounds like. Underneath that, we'll show you tomorrow's confirmation email, but this is where I wanted to get to. So after you see the video of Stacy, if you guys scroll, it says getting phone numbers. Cool. So make a note of that. So after video of the girl, or after picture of the girl of how do I schedule presentations, you're going to go to getting phone numbers. All right. So it says go through your phone, call friends to get parents' numbers. You can message them on social media or text them, whatever. You're like, hey, hope all is well. I have a really quick question, but it's too long to type. Can I have your number to give you a call? All right. If you get crazy anxiety calling people, you can just message them. But I recommend for you guys, little by little, push yourself out of your comfort zone because it's important to learn that skill set. So call or text, hey, I need you to do me a favor. I'm calling all my friends right now, start a new job. I'm in a huge contest to earn a scholarship. All I have to do is a really quick presentation for people and get their opinion on something. For those of you who are not students, all right, you just say, I started a new job and I'm in a huge contest. You just stop there. Cool. You just say, oh, I'm in a huge contest. All I have to do is a quick presentation. People get their opinion on something. It's pretty easy to do. I just have to see people that are over 30 and own a home. I was thinking your parents fit that description. And I have to actually call them and ask them personally about it. So even if they're too busy, that's fine. It just helps me to call them. Who's easier to talk to, mom or dad? All right, cool. Can I get their number? And then if they ask you questions or they say, I'll text you their number. Are you selling something? Let me ask them first. It literally tells you what to say. All you have to do is go copy and then you paste it. All right. So don't think copy paste. I promise, but this would not be here if it didn't work. So boom, that's all you have to do. Now, by the way, if they're one of your really close friends, like the parents, then you can just be like, yo, is your mom next to you? Put her on and you talk to her, or just shoot a text. Like my close friends, I was like, hey, I need to ask your mom a quick question. What's her cell? All right. So if you don't have their cell, keep it chill, keep it simple. But if you don't have a relationship with the parents, then that's the best thing to do. All right. Is what I just showed you guys. So again, you're going to go to my Vector demo. You're going to go to phoning. You're going to scroll down after you see the video. Right after, it's going to say getting phone numbers. And then it tells you exactly how to respond to people. All right. So that's what you guys want to utilize for tonight. If you're calling, reaching out to people through social media, use that. Cool. And then again, anyone you're close to sit down and collect more phone numbers. And again, are you looking for people that might be interested in seeing Cutco? No, you could be showing brushes for camel's hair. Okay. You could be showing exploding golf balls. It does not matter. We just want to do a quick practice presentation. And so that's what you're working with on your list. All right. Any questions? Throw them in here so that we have that. All right. So last couple things here, we're wrapping up here, and then whoever wants to stay and watch the demo, it's about 20 I think it's like 25 minutes or something. I don't know. Something like that. We're going to play it for anyone who wants to watch it, grab some food and watch it. All right. But last things is I want to show you guys how to get organized in your app. Are you able to help me with this? Okay, cool. So Claudia is going to show you guys how to get organized in your app. And then I'm going to give you guys final focuses for tonight. And whoever wants, we'll put on the video 5 minutes after we're done. Cool. So you can grab some food and then we'll throw it on. All right.
All righty. That way. So what we're going to do right now, let me highlight. There we go. What we're going to do right now, again, I'm going to need some participation from you. We are going to go through the app together. All right. So go to the Vector Impact app. All right. We're going to go to Vector Impact. Now for you all, you should have one tab. I have 2 tabs here at the bottom, but you should have one tab that says friends. Okay, so thumbs up if everyone can see that tab there. It just says friends for you all. Okay, awesome. I got some thumbs ups here. Okay, so what we are going to do right now, we're going to go ahead and organize, or as I like to say, categorize our friends that are in our phone. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to go straight down the line, literally A through Z, and we were going to hit the plus sign for anyone that's over 30 and has a full-time job. Okay, you see what I did there? I just hit the plus sign. Adair disappeared. Okay, you're just going to go straight down the line. Anyone who's over 30 with a job. Okay, over 30 with the job. We're going to go straight down the line and hit the plus sign. All right, so just like this, I'm just going to go straight down the line. Ignore the stars. Don't worry about it. Just straight down the line. Anyone that's over 30 with the job. Okay, I'm just going to click their name and just keep scrolling. All right, over 30 with the job. Everyone pull up their app on their phone. So everyone should be in the Vector Impact app. And we should be, again, going from A through Z. We're just going to hit the plus sign for anyone who's over 30 and with the job. By the way, everything in your app, it belongs to you. We have no access to this information here. So right now I'm just, sharing the world with you. But I'll do that to help you get to the next level. Okay. So we're just going to go straight down the line. Again, we're going to add anyone who's over 30 and with a full-time job. Once you make it all the way A through Z, do me a favor and type done in the chat box. Okay. Go ahead and type done in the chat box. And Donald, don't worry. We'll do a recap of assignments before we get you out of here, but that is a great question. All right. So we're going to go A through Z. Anyone who's over 30 with the job, we're just going to go ahead and highlight them right now. Just press the plus sign. All righty, so it looks like everyone's done with that portion. Right now, what I want you to do, you need a pen or a piece of paper. Go ahead and write this down for me because this is really important in terms of what we're about to do with this next step. Okay, so do me a favor. Everyone have a pen. Let me see here. Everyone have something to write with. Just go like this. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you for participating. Okay, so go ahead. I want you to write 3 stars. Write 3 stars equals 3 stars equals MAC top 5. 3 stars equals MAC top 5. Alrighty. Then you're going to write right below that, you're going to write 2 stars. 2 stars equals MAC. And then right below that, you're going to write 1 star. 1 star equals, it's going to be either 1 of the 3 or 2 of the 3. Okay. Or maybe even none. So maybe they are married and they live in a home, but they're not over 30. Okay. So they're either 1 or 2 of the 3. Thumbs up if everyone gets what I'm saying there. Okay, awesome. So again, 3 stars is going to be anyone who is married between the age of 30 and 60, owns a home, and they're in your top 5 or your best 5, which Kathy was mentioning earlier. Okay, so those are your layups. Those are who we want to focus on this weekend. Okay, so those are your 3 stars. Then your 2 stars are just your plain max. So they're just married, they're between the age of 30 and 60, they own a home. Okay. And then 1 star. A 1 star is anyone who is 1 or 2 of the 3, maybe a combination. Okay. But they're not all 3. All right. So check this out. What we are going to do right now, we are going to head back into the Vector Impact app. I'm going to share my screen with you again. So bear with me one moment here. If you can see my screen, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. I got some thumbs up. Awesome. All right. So what we're going to do now, you should now have 2 tabs at the bottom of the Vector Impact app. You should now have a tag that says prospects. Go ahead and transition to the prospects tab. Okay. Now here in the prospects tab is where you are going to see everyone that was over 30 with the job. Okay. That was over 30 with the job that you press a plus sign on. Now, what we're going to do, again, we're going to go A through Z, but we're actually going to click on their name. All righty. We're going to click on their name. All right. We're going to click on their name and we are going to rate them. So using that little legend that I just gave you that has 3 stars, 2 stars, and 1 star, we are going to categorize each individual. What category do they fall into? Okay. Do they have all 3 and they're in your best 5? All right. They'd be 3 stars. Now, Aaliyah, she's just an MAC. So I'm just going to put 2 stars. Okay. And then I'm going to backtrack out and I'm going to go to Aaron next. All right. Aaron is either 1 or 2 of the 3. So Aaron's going to be 1 star. And I'm going to backtrack out. Okay. And then I'm going to go to Aaron Page. Okay. Aaron is going to be 3 stars. Aaron is married between the age of 30 and 60, owns a home, and is in my top 5. Okay. I definitely have to see Aaron and Michelle. They love to cook, like literally love to cook, always cooking up a storm, doing things on YouTube and things like that. I want to see them. And they're really, 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 really nice. Okay. That's a layup this weekend. Definitely seeing them. Okay. And then you're just going to continue to go down the list. Okay. Abby's going to be 1 star. All right. Abby is 1 or 2 of the 3 and so on. So you're going to go all the way down to the end of your list. Okay. And you're going to categorize everyone in this list. All right. So I'm going to give you some time here to go through the list. Use that legend. Make sure you are categorizing again, your 3 stars, your 2 stars, and your 1 stars. And we are going to walk through that again with you tomorrow evening. All righty. But your best 5, you want to make sure you are highlighting your best 5 as your 3 stars. Okay. And if you have more than 5 that are like Mac daddies, like you have to see them this weekend, super nice, love to cook. Mina's laughing, but she knows what I'm talking about. Okay. Like you have to see them this weekend. Go ahead and 3-star them as well. Okay. Some of you may have 10. All right. Like a top 10 that you're like, they're all 3 and they're in my top 10. They're amazing. That lady, nice lady from church, or maybe it's your neighbor. Like you have to see them this weekend. Go ahead and 3-star them. Okay. Some of you, it may expand more than 5. And that's okay. Some of you, you're like, I don't have that many 3 stars, but maybe mom knows more, or maybe grandma knows more, or an auntie, or there's a teacher that you need to speak to that knows more people like that. All righty. We are going to help you. That's who you're going to be reaching out to tonight to collect more names and numbers. And then we'll give you time tomorrow to categorize those individuals as well. Okay. So I'm going to put some music on. I'm going to let you again categorize, use that legend to categorize your 3 stars, your 2 stars, and your 1 stars. And then I'm going to come back momentarily. We're going to give you some assignments for this evening to work on. And then we are going to, for those of you sticking around, we are going to be watching, the demo tonight. All righty. Joining us with dinner, and we'll be watching the demo. But I'm going to put some music on, give you a few moments to continue to categorize. Once you're done going A through Z, categorizing your individuals, message me done. Okay. Message me done. All right. Now, Cass actually started with us in 2017 as a full-time student at St. Thomas, where she just graduated, as you all saw earlier on our little example. Cass, man, studied applied mathematics and data science, like things that make my brain hurt, but that's why we love her even more, because she's just a rock star. But she was what we call a 10K fast starter, which means she made $2,000 in her first 10 days on the job. We plucked there from Subway, and we're so grateful for that. But she was also a part of she literally ran the operations for $1 million office, alrighty, in the Memorial area for 2 years under her. All-time record. And in the summer, she's going to break an all-time record as the pilot sales manager with Kathy. So she's a certified bad butt, literally one of the top district offices in our division this past year, finishing in the top 10% in the nation, and so many more. Like, I can talk about Cass forever. She's such a great person. But Cass, while they're working on that, I'd love for you to share, what's your favorite thing about the job? And I know there may be some people who are excited, like, to go after a big weekend like you did, right? Making $2,000 in your first 10 days, being a single mom. Like, if anyone could have made an excuse, you could have made an excuse, but you didn't. But anyone like wanting to go big, and like some tips for them, right? To go big.
We'll start with the tips first, and then I can go into what I like. Really, the thing that I focused on the most my first weekend was definitely my best 5. I know you're going to hear it very often, and it's going to sound cliche, just focus on your best people, but seriously, it makes a difference. I only had 5 max that I did my first weekend, and off of them, I built more max, right? The reason I went to go see them first is because I wanted to introduce myself to more people like themselves. And that's how I ended up doing 12 appointments my first weekend, but I made sure I focus on quality over quantity, right? So just make sure that you focus on quality over quantity. And then from there, I just gave it my all. Like, I had nothing to lose. I wasn't doing anything at the time besides school. And I was like, might as well, right? I'm gaining experience, gaining income, and leaning on your managers, right? Just call them every single appointment. I remember I used to call Caitlin like 3 times in one demo. I was like, I'm going to annoy the heck out of you, but you're going to help me close these orders. So that's what I did. I just leaned on them because I knew they had more knowledge than I did. So it was like, might as well take advantage of them. And then when it comes to what is it that I like about the job, it's like, I have everything in one place. I have flexibility. I have great income. I have great people that I'm surrounded by, right? Everyone here is like a family. And we say that all the time because when we travel, it's really what it feels like. So I just have all of it in one place, and I just wouldn't trade it for anything unless they offered something better. But honestly, like, having Kathy as a leader and our mentor, like, I expressed this to some of you guys that were in my breakout room, like, you have one of the best people out there, right? And Claudia, she's like one of the best friends that I've had in such a long time. Like, she has my back like no other. So I can go on and on about what I like about working here, but those are just some of the few reasons and some couple of tips that I have for you guys. Just focus on your best people, follow the manual, do not try to change it. It's there for a reason, right? So follow the manual, focus on best people, and just do as many demos as you can and have fun. That's really all I did. Nothing special.
And Cass, I know that you, Alexandria is here with us today, and I know you recommended Alexandria, and
Yeah,
like, it's 4
from middle
school.
school.
Yeah, she said that y'all have known each other since middle school, and it's like 4 years later, you're still recommending people to the job.
Yeah.
What inspired you to keep recommending people 4 years later?
I'm just like, I've created a life that I really love, and it's like, why not share that with people that I used to grow up with? And it's like, we come from the same place, and it's like, I wanted to get out of that place that I grew up in, and it's like, I want to create a better life for me. And like, I just know that the opportunity that I've been given here, like, I wouldn't have gotten it at Subway whatsoever.
Yeah,
So-
and I'm excited because I know Donald's here because of you as well, and he's going out and taking advantage of our franchise opportunity, going to go run a branch office. So that's really awesome. And Cass, you sharing that opportunity, and 2 individuals being here right now, going to have the opportunity to experience that is awesome. So thank you for sharing. Love it, love it, love it. I'm excited to keep growing with you, girl. But I see that we have the majority of you have completed that. All right. It looks like the majority of you have gone ahead and completed that. So awesome. And that's all we're gonna do with that tonight. Okay. Tomorrow, when you show up, I'm actually gonna run through other sides of the app. Okay, like how to set goals, how to schedule appointments, how to make your phone calls through the app. Like I said, this app is amazing. It literally does everything. But I actually do want to show you one more video. I'm going to share my screen with you, And some of you, I know you had that list and you were like, yeah, I have people that I'd love to see, do appointments for, but I don't have their phone number. All right. Maybe you had their, you just had their name. Okay. But you don't have their phone number and they're on the paper where you wrote that down. I'm actually going to show you a video on how you can add them into the app. Okay. Because maybe they're not in your initial contacts now, but they'll be in your contacts later. So I'm actually going to share a video with you, and if it's 2 minutes, and it's actually going to show you how to add individuals, how to get their phone numbers if you don't actually have their number right now. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Everyone you had on your list that wasn't on your, in your phone, how to add them. Like, say that louder.
Yeah. So everyone that's on your list that isn't in your phone, it's going to show you how to add them. So getting missing contacts info. And then on day 3, we'll talk more so about referrals, right? And what those introductions look like. So I'm going to show you this right now. It's pretty neat. So pay attention. I would say stop, look, and listen as if you were crossing the street, because this can really, really help you out.
In this video, you'll learn how to get introductions and missing contact info from your network. Then you'll learn how to receive referrals from potential customers. First, let's start with how to get introductions and missing contact info for people from those in your network. Let's go over a common scenario. You know a lot of people in your volunteer community. You have contact information for a few of them, they're in your phone, but you don't have a way to reach the rest of the potential customers in the group, even though you know them by name. Another scenario is that you just want to get the phone number of your friend's mom or aunt. So Vector Impact gives you a powerful way to source phone numbers from your network. First, go to the People section and click on Add in the top right-hand corner. Now, manually add those folks that you know of but don't have their phone number. Here I'm putting in JD's aunt and a few others. Next, go back to the Customers tab. You'll see everyone you added marked with Needs Introduction.
So I'm going to pause really quickly. So what he did in the top right-hand corner where it says add, alrighty, it says add, that's what he clicked on. In there, he was able to add in the names of the contacts that he was missing, just their names, alrighty, first and last name or first name or however you knew them. All right, that's what you're going to do. You're just going to hit the add button in the top right-hand corner and add all the names that were on the paper that you wrote down earlier. You'll add the names there. And then right now he's going to show you how to get an introduction to get the phone number.
Along with a checkbox in their row. A little tip, you can filter your contact list to just those contacts that need an introduction using the filter dropdown. Then check off the potential customers you want to set up an introduction for, then click Set Up Introduction at the bottom. Now you'll see all your contacts, both friends and potential customers. Now select one or more contacts that will help you source numbers for each one of the contacts you selected in the previous step. Then click Request Introduction. It's important to know that each time you request introductions from one of your source contacts, we update an intro list for that source contact in the background. In other words, we are keeping tabs on who should intro whom. Now let's hop over to tasks. You'll see that one of your tasks is Request Introduction. You will use the Request Introduction task to reach out to each source contact via text message. In the text, there's a personalized URL where they will go and enter.
So as you can see here, the text that someone, so on these introductions, so you're missing contacts, right? Remember again, who probably has their number? Is it mom, dad, like who has their number? An aunt. Okay, you're going to create an introduction to your aunt. And it's basically like, hey, auntie, like it says here, this is George Wilson. I just started a new job. I'm looking to do a presentation for some people I know. I was wondering if you can help me get phone numbers for some folks. Okay, it's going to generate this in your messages already. So basically, it's going to ask auntie, hey, can you go fill in the blank for these phone numbers I'm missing?
In phone numbers and correct names if needed. So what does the source contact see on the page link that you sent them via this text message? They'll land on a page that looks like this, with your information of course, and the name placeholder replaced with their name. On the next page, they will see a list of all the requested introductions that you have set up for them. One really helpful feature here is that if someone in your network provides you with a number for a contact, that contact won't show up anymore in everyone else's lists. So you only have to collect it once. Lastly, your Vector Impact contacts will automatically update with the proper tasks and state after you receive their contact info from your network. Okay, so we covered how to get contact info from people
And that's that. All righty. That's literally that simple. That's how you're going to get the introduction. A lot of you will have an opportunity, and I highly recommend everyone using that tonight to create those introductions. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Are you good to go?
I'm good.
Okay, let's do it. So I want to start by saying thank you so much for taking the time to see my presentation. It really, really means a lot to me. My main goal is not to sell you everything, but it's to make sure that you like me, so that way you feel comfortable of referring me to a few other people, because that's the lifeblood of what I do. So just to tell you a little bit more about my background, I graduated from Country Day in 2016. I'm about to graduate from UAB here in May, right? You know, virtually or over Zoom or however the heck they're going to do our virtual graduation. They were bragging about how it's going to be super cool, that it's the first virtual graduation ever, and we're like, yeah, we know what you're doing. Like, this is not ideal. So, but it'll be okay. My parents are the ones that are the most sad, obviously. But
Right. At least graduating. You did it in 4 years. So
I did.
good job.
Yes, thank you. I did it in 4 years. I did a couple of things while at UAB. My girlfriend, she's from Birmingham, and she talked me into joining the a cappella group my sophomore year of college. And have you ever seen the movie Pitch Perfect?
I have. My
So-
daughter's a big fan.
So that's awesome. So you can tell her that we actually competed in the competition that Pitch Perfect was made after. So in the movie, yeah, so it's called ICCA in Pitch Perfect, and that's what it's called in real life. And we got to compete there 2 years, and we got beat by the team from Belmont. They're called the Belmont Belltones. And the reason that might sound familiar is because that's who the Pitch Perfect name was made after. They're called the Barden Bellas. So it's like we were having this huge, weird deja vu moment that was super cool, but we had a lot of fun.
I bet.
Yeah, it was great. And then I also played basketball with the women's basketball team. So every week when they would have practice, I would go play against them. I was basically a glorified crash test dummy, and they would just push me around the entire practice, because those girls are big. They were like 6'2", 230 pounds. And, I'm, not small, but I'm 6 foot, 180, and they're just smacking me around. I've got bruises and scratches every single day. But, I talk about it like it's a war zone, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, it was super great. And my mom's the music teacher at Country Day. She's been there her entire life. She went there for school. Then she taught there right after she graduated. My aunt is the same thing. She's the nurse at Country Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
So will William have his mom next year? He said that he thinks he's getting into honors music.
Yes. So yes, I talked to my mom right after we got off the phone, and she was like, that's awesome, because William's going to be doing choir next year. So.
Yeah, that's what he told me after we talked. He's like, I think I'm going to have his mom next year, because he's lobbying for himself to get into some better classes for next year, which I'm proud of him for. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Most people like my mom, because she's just goofy and crazy and has a lot of fun, and she's a really good choir teacher too. So, I think she'll enjoy it. But my dad was actually the middle school principal at Country Day for a long time, and he was the middle school principal while I was there. So you can imagine that was pretty much a nightmare every single day.
Your dad there.
Yep. I got one detention the entire time at Country Day, and my dad gave it to me in 6th grade because I had my phone on me and I wasn't supposed to. So that was
Yeah, I think William's gotten into Clemson he likes to wear non-uniform pants.
like short shorts.
Like he likes to wear like Nike pants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he does have clothes. He does have real clothes. He just doesn't prefer.
Hey, I feel that. My parents used to have to, put the clothes out in the morning to get me not to wear my gym shorts every single day.
I know, right?
That's awesome.
Wow.
But yeah, so I've been working with Cutco for about 5 years now, and I've been loving it. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. But my sister's actually a theater major at Ohio University. She's a sophomore right now, so she's carrying on the family tradition of doing music.
Good.
Yeah, so that's great. And my grandma, I don't know if I told you this, my grandma was actually the music teacher at Country Day before my mom was.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, so, you know. Well, yeah, so Miss Jean, if you go ahead and scroll down a little bit, you'll see a page that's white and blue and has slides that say, "Thank you so much for helping me reach my goals," and "What is Cutco?" Do you see those?
Uh-huh.
All right, we're off to a good start. So Miss Jean, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? Okay, great. Well, as you can imagine, a lot of my friends are laying around watching Netflix right now, but I'm using this as an opportunity to build my resume and gain some new skills. And so that's why I'm really appreciative of you seeing this demo. I'm working with Cutco because I want to set myself apart. You know, I don't want to be like the rest of the people who graduate in a month or two here. I really want to be not just a number in the pile, but somebody who really stands out with the way that I communicate with people, but also the way that my resume looks. So that way I can really go for a career that I enjoy, that makes a difference, that impacts people. And ultimately is, you know, I have the control to go where I want rather than just kind of having to take whatever comes to me. So I really want to put in that effort on the front end. I also have a really big goal of paying for college without the help of my parents. That's something that it's looking like I'm going to be able to do. And my parents are great. You know, they would definitely help me pay for college if I needed it. But I really took it upon myself to say, hey, like, why not? Like, why not just give it a try? So I've actually been working with Cutco doing management full time for the last 3 years while in school, running an office. So I've been working super hard and honestly really enjoying every step of the way. But through Cutco, I can earn a President's Club letter, which will look great on my resume. And I also have a chance to win an All-American scholarship to help pay for school. I've won this a couple times already. In the summer of 2016, after I graduated high school, I was actually the number 10 student in the nation out of 40,000 other college students. So
Wow. So did you start working for Cutco in high school?
Yes, I started when I was taking exams, I guess right about the time where William is. So I started in May, finishing up my junior year of high school.
Okay.
Yeah. And so you can win the scholarship once every semester. So I'm trying to win it this last semester to help pay for the last little bit of school that I got left. So yeah, and Ms. Jean, since I just started doing this new virtual demo, I'm going to be reading from my manual. Is that okay?
That is fine.
Awesome. Okay. Well, like I said on the phone, you don't have to get anything, but if you see something you like, you can get it today. Not only would you be getting a great product, but you'd be helping me out towards my goals. So Cutco is awesome. You can buy sets or pieces, and we have tons of accessories and gifts. We also have interest-free monthly investment options, so you don't have to pay for it all at once. And just so I know, do you cook because you have to, like to, or love to?
I like to.
Okay, great. You're going to love Cutco. So the first part of my presentation is a short video that shows the quality of Cutco. After that, I'll show you the pieces in our basic set. A few things to know, these are real customers in the video. Some of them have had Cutco for decades. My grandma actually was sold some Cutco by my uncle's friend in college that she's had for 20 plus years, and she uses every single day. So she was super excited when she found out that that was Cutco. But the second thing to notice in this video is the Forever Guarantee. This is what makes us the top selling brand in North America. So if you could go ahead and click full screen on the video. You just have to scroll down a little bit to find it.
Hold on just a second. So the video where the girl is on
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay. I got full screen.
And then just make sure the sound is on, and then you can click play, and I'll just make a few comments as the video is going. It's pretty quick, and then we'll go into the next thing.
You know, I think we got knives for our wedding. They didn't last the test of time.
I cut things and like saw.
So you're watching the tomato
and
being
it's
cut?
starting to like mush underneath
Okay,
me.
cool.
It seemed that they got dull very quickly. Sometimes we just couldn't find the right knife to do what we needed it to do. But since we've got Cutco and we have the variety of knives, each knife really does something different.
When we first picked up the knives, we could tell the difference. We weren't used to having such sharp blades, the tools working like they were supposed to.
We actually use them so frequently, I can't put them away. It's just part of our kitchen now.
When it comes to preparing food and cooking meals for your family, a set of sharp, dependable knives in your kitchen can be the difference between cooking because you have to or cooking because you want to. With the right knives, food preparation is a breeze. With the wrong ones, not so much.
I can't compare the Cutco to any knife that they sell in a department store because I've tried them all. The only knives I have are Cutco.
With preparing meals for 10 people 3 times a day, I need a knife that I know I can go to, that has the quality that's going to work every time, and Cutco does it for me. Cutco quality is #1.
Since 1949, for millions of families across the country, the right knives are Cutco knives. Cutco knives are made right here in America, always have been. And today, hundreds of Cutco team members craft each knife with an artisan's eye for quality and detail. This level of craftsmanship is one of the reasons that every Cutco knife comes with a forever guarantee, a powerful promise we've stood behind since our founding in 1949. That means your Cutco set will be the last set of knives you'll ever need to buy. 10 years, 20 years, even generations down the road, Cutco will sharpen your knives and replace any defective item for free. No one else does that because no one else is Cutco.
They stand behind their product, which is very rare. And they're an American company, which is even better.
It's a lifetime warranty, so I did have the experience of having it once replaced with no questions asked.
Warranty on a knife that we've had for over a decade, and we've had a couple knives replaced that have been damaged. It was very easy.
Cutco can make this guarantee because of the unique patented design and the meticulous multi-step construction process that goes into its knives.
So you're looking
It's
at the
what makes
pizza?
Cutco unique and a cut above all others in quality, durability, and user satisfaction. Cutco puts each blade through a 3-step heat treating process, creating the best balance of hardness, flexibility, rust and stain resistance, and edge retention. After that, the blade is meticulously polished to enhance rust resistance. And then comes the secret to Cutco's sharpness and durability, the exclusive Double D recessed edge. This process creates a series of 3 razor-sharp edges on the blade, with pointed teeth that protect it from contacting surfaces that might dull the knife. The Double D recessed edge allows the blade to cut forward, backward, or straight down with equal ease. You can cut virtually anything, which makes food preparation easy, fast, and fun. Here's proof of how sharp a Cutco blade is. This is a tough piece of leather, and using a regular kitchen knife, even a brand new one, cutting it is practically impossible. Now, watch what the Cutco table knife can do. Notice its rounded design for added safety, and no rivets, so it looks great on your table. But can it cut? Can it ever?
Sharpness is everything. The product from Cutco is head and shoulders above any other knife that I've ever used. They do exactly what I want them to do for me every single time.
Here's something you might not know. You may already own an incredibly expensive
Have you ever
set
seen
of
a drawer
knives.
like this before?
Ever seen a kitchen drawer that looks like this?
Mine look messier.
Loads and loads of
All right, we'll get
most
a picture of
which you
yours and
never
put it on the
use
new
because
video.
they're too dull or aren't right for the job. That's money wasted. A lot of money when you add it all up. It's actually much more cost-effective to invest in a set of quality knives.
And the
Knives that
sound's still
come
working
with a
okay?
forever guarantee.
Yeah.
Knives that are designed for every conceivable kitchen duty. Knives that you'll be happy to use every day. Let's take a quick look at a few of the most popular knives in a set. If you've ever tried to cut a tomato with a dull knife, you know how frustrating and messy it can be. The Cutco trimmer makes quick work of tomatoes, oranges, apples, cucumbers, great for sectioning grapefruit and oranges. Easily trims and bones meat, poultry, and fish. It's even a great bar knife for lemons and limes. This versatile knife is a star of your set, and one of the key reasons Cutco won About.com's Reader's Choice Award for Best Cutlery Brand.
The trimmer. I love the trimmer. That's my favorite knife. I use it when I'm cutting up salads and if I'm trimming a steak.
I use it for my meats like chicken, roast. I really use it for everything. So it's a pretty multi-purpose knife.
Ready to do some chopping, dicing, slicing, and mincing? The Home Chef now has a classic knife at their disposal, the Petite Chef. Just place the tip on the cutting board and rock the blade, using the back of the blade to do the cutting. When done this way, you feel as though you're cutting air.
My favorite Cutco knife is the chef knife. Just cutting the lettuce when you want it super fine or really chopped really fine, it makes cooking a lot easier.
It has the nice long blade and chop quickly. I don't think I realized how efficient that would be.
And now, the knife that's more than a knife, the Cutco Spatula Spreader. It's the world's premier
The spatula is my
sandwich
mom's
bagel
favorite. She was
Spread
using it
mayo,
literally
cream
this
cheese,
morning.
or jellies. No muss, no
Because then she
fuss.
can cut her
Cut
sandwich
cakes
after
with
she
ease.
puts her
Serve
mayonnaise
up
on
neat,
it.
appetizing portions of lasagna.
Serrate it.
Slice up a pizza.
By far, my favorite knife is the spatula knife. Great for sandwiches.
You can cut the bagel, then you can scoop the spread. It's all with one tool.
Finally, let's look at a knife you probably won't use every day, but when you need it, you'll be so glad it's in your set. It's the renowned Cutco Butcher Knife. It may look intimidating, but use it once and you'll wonder how you ever got along without it. Heavy duty and tough, it easily segments and trims big cuts of meat and disjoints poultry. Watch it go through a squash, pineapple, even a watermelon at a single pass.
Butcher knife, great for cutting meat. Just goes through it like crazy.
It's so easy to get around. You don't have to worry about the heat because it has that length.
Having the right knife for the right job is like having the right club for every shot, the right tool for every task, the right shoes for every occasion. With the right set of Cutco knives, your work goes faster, better, and is a lot more rewarding. With Cutco knives, cooking is fun. Beyond that, using a dull knife, especially for the wrong purpose, is a serious safety hazard. It's been proven that most kitchen accidents involve the knife, especially a dull knife. That's because people force dull knives and use them improperly in order to get them to cut, and that's how accidents happen. Sharp, safely stored, and properly used knives are a far safer choice and make your kitchen a much more enjoyable place. All the knives in your Cutco set are guaranteed to be sharp forever because we'll sharpen them for free, anytime, anywhere, no matter how long ago you bought them. How sharp are they? Watch this. This is the Cutco Petite Carver. Our customers have given this knife a 5-star rating on Cutco.com, and no wonder. This is a length of thick rope. It's tough and fibrous, like a big roast. Now watch this. If it can cut rope like this, imagine how easily it will glide through your toughest cutting jobs.
Other knives I had to saw through and saw through. With Cutco, I have not had to do that. They stay sharp. I have been 100% satisfied.
It's clear that a Cutco knife set is the premier choice and the most important set of tools in your kitchen. So now let's talk value. Remember that every knife in every set is American-made in Cutco's own facility in upstate New York and is completely covered by Cutco's one-of-a-kind Forever Guarantee. These are knives that will last for your lifetime and beyond. Nobody else offers that kind of value.
The Cutco knives made a huge difference in our kitchen. For 15 years, we've had the same set of knives. Everybody talks about the good quality and the sharpness of it, how long it stays sharp. I know that we've gotten our money's worth out of those knives.
Remember, too, that Cutco knives are made of the highest quality materials. The handles, for example, are not wood or cheap plastic, but thermo resin for far greater strength, dishwasher endurance, and long-term durability. They won't crack, splinter, chip, or absorb grease. Wooden handles can become bacteria breeding grounds, and cheap brass rivets quickly discolor and show their age. Cutco exclusively uses corrosion-resistant nickel-silver rivets for the utmost in appearance and durability. This customer favorite has
Have you ever seen the penny trick before?
strong and versatile. You can use them in the kitchen.
All right, you're about to
garden,
see it.
Anywhere. Cut everything from
scissors.
delicate herbs to that ridiculously tough plastic packaging your regular scissors just can't handle. and the heavy-duty blades separate for easy cleaning. How powerful are the shears? Strong enough to easily cut through this penny. Your Cutco representative is ready to answer any questions.
Literally anything.
And help you choose the set that turns this into this, and this into this. Thanks for choosing Cutco. American made, forever guaranteed.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna start by showing you the pieces in our most popular set, which is called the Homemaker. So go ahead and scroll a little bit down past the video, and you'll see the 3 different Homemaker sets and then a slideshow called Homemaker Set Pieces.
Right.
What I'd like you to do is hit the full screen button on the slideshow. It's next to the gear wheel at the bottom.
Okay.
And then go ahead and click next, and it'll pull up the first slide, which shows the Homemaker +8. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, Ms. Jean, you can buy individual pieces, but most customers agree that over a lifetime, sets are a much better value. It's important to have the right tool for the right situation because of safety and efficiency. We also have 2 larger sets for customers who love to cook called the Ultimate and Signature, but I'm going to start by showing you the pieces in our basic set, which is the most popular. It's called the Homemaker +8. It has the minimum number of tools to do 100% of the jobs in your kitchen as efficiently as possible. It's the best value for your average family, and it starts with your paring knife. So go ahead and click next, and it should see a paring knife page. Do you see that? Okay, great. So this is Cutco's Air Knife. It has a long handle, which makes peeling and paring comfortable. Go ahead and click play on the video on the right. You'll use this for small jobs in the air like apples, strawberries, and bananas, but rarely on the cutting board. That's why you have your trimmer. So did the video finish?
Yeah.
Okay, you can click next. Next is the trimmer. This is your small utility knife for small fruits and veggies. Go ahead and click play on the video, and you'll see how smooth it is. You will never smash a tomato ever again. It's also great for cucumbers, oranges, lemons, and limes, and awesome for slicing raw chicken into strips. Which color do you like better, the black, white, or red handles?
Probably the white.
Okay. Yeah, me too. The white is so cool. Those are the ones that my mom have. So everybody loves the versatility of the trimmer, but it's never used for spreading or serving. That's why you have your spatula. So you can click next. And then when you're on the spatula page, you can press play on the top video.
Okay, with the bagel.
Yeah. The wide, flexible double D edge on this piece allows you to cut, spread, and serve sandwiches, bagels, lasagna, and cake. It's perfect for getting peanut butter and jelly out of the jar with super smooth spreading, or getting brownies out of the pan.
Okay.
But you'll never use this on large meats or large vegetables. That's why you have your, you can click next. That's why you have your petite carver. So you can go ahead and click play on this video. This large utility knife is your everyday meat knife for chicken and small roasts. It's also for large summer fruits and tough vegetables. Wait till you see this one glide through the pineapple. Have you seen that in the video yet?
I'm watching it, yeah.
Okay, it's about to show you the pineapple, I bet. That's like the coolest part.
Yeah.
The turning fork has 3 sharp tines that make it easy to turn meats and veggies and get things out of jars. None of the pieces so far are used for larger foods, so that's why we have your butcher knife. So you can click next to the butcher knife. You can play the top video with the watermelon first.
Okay.
This heavy-duty knife disjoints large meats and is also great for melons and squash and separating frozen foods like hot dogs and hamburgers. This one protects your other knives because it's the only piece in the basic set strong enough for these jobs, but it's not a chopping knife, so that's why you have your Petite Chef. So you can click next and then play the video.
Okay.
What does this one have on the video?
Carrot.
Carrot. Okay, perfect.
Cucumber.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Onion.
Okay, great. So the high knuckle clearance makes it comfortable and safer for dicing, mincing, and chopping. This delicate chopper is great for the 6 S's: soup, salad, stir fry, stew, stuffing, and salsa.
Gotcha.
The chef knives are for chopping, not slicing. So that's why you have your slicer. So you can click next.
Okay.
The slicer, and you can play the video. This is the best bread knife in the world. And the long double D edge makes it great for cutting cakes, shredding lettuce, and slicing boneless meats. But it's not for anything with a bone. So that's why we have your master carving set. So you can click next. And then you can play the short video. This is like your spare tire. You won't use it every day, but you'll be glad that you have it. Do you guys ever host barbecues or host family dinners?
We do.
Okay,
We do.
cool. So this is what you'll need for barbecues, big roasts, family occasions. Having both forks is important in the set because the turning fork picks foods up while this carving fork holds meat down. And it's also wide enough to go around the bones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can you see how over a lifetime you're going to use every tool in your basic set?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if you click next, it should be on the table knife page.
Yeah.
Okay, so to complete your set, the table knives are used for every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The wide blade and rounded tip makes it safer and great for spreading. But with the double D edge, it cuts like a steak knife. We recommend 2 table knives per family member so you don't have to wash them after every meal. So let's see how our table knives work on some tough leather. If you haven't clicked video, you can click it now.
I did. I'm watching it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, you can see it cutting through the tough leather. So much easier. For the customers who like the feel of a larger steakhouse style steak knife, our 2 larger sets, the signature and the ultimate set, they both come with that option. So if you click next, you should see the ultimate and the signature sets.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, great.
With a lot.
Correct. And then if you click next one more time, it should give you the storage options.
Got it.
Okay, so Miss Jean, it would be dangerous to have really sharp knives floating in a drawer. Our sets come with a solid oak wood block, which looks great on the counter. We also have storage trays for the drawer or on a wall. Our sets also come with a free cutting board. It's important to use soft plastic cutting boards. Glass, granite, and marble cutting boards are too dull and will dull your knives. They're too hard and will dull your knives.
Okay.
So you can click next again. To complement your homemaker set, we have incredible kitchen tools and gadgets. This 5-piece dishwasher safe kitchen tool set replaces a drawer full of old kitchen tools. Our 4-piece entertainer pack has comfort grip handles and of course is forever guaranteed. So if you click next, I'm going to show you some super cool videos. These are a lot of fun.
Okay.
So let me know when you're on the page with the 4 videos lined up.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, perfect. So this is the entertainer pack. It comes with our 4 most popular gadgets all in one pack. We're going to play the short videos one at a time, starting with the peeler. This one peels in both directions.
Okay, I'm clicking on it now.
Great. So yeah, you can see it peeling in both directions. Next is the ice cream scoop, and you can play the video. It goes right through rock hard ice cream and is great for getting the seeds out of melon.
Okay.
The next one is the pizza cutter. You can play that video. The blade comes out for easy cleaning.
Okay.
And then the cheese knife, this guy has holes in it. Do you know why?
Wait, hold on. It went to full screen. It has no what in it?
It has holes.
In it?
Do you know why?
Is it to scrape the cheese?
It's actually so the cheese doesn't stick to it.
Ah.
Yeah, it's great for potatoes, apples, and pepperoni. This thing is awesome.
Okay.
So you're finished with that video?
I actually got a slow start on that one, so give me a second. I'm cutting a tomato right now.
No rush.
Okay, got it. If I can get it back off of full screen. I went wrong here. Hold on.
You can either click the escape button in the top left hand of your keyboard, or on the bottom there should be a button.
Okay, got it.
Okay, great. So Ms. Jean, let me review why so many people choose to invest in Cutco. You'll always have sharp American-made knives that are comfortable, safe, and sanitary. Cutco is guaranteed to last forever, so it'd be the last set of knives that you would ever buy. And Cutco saves a lot of money. Most customers who buy Cutco eat out less. If that saves $60 a month, that's $720 saved this year. Over 25 years, you'll save $18,000. There are several reasons why so many customers choose sets. Cutco sets have the right tool for the right job. Cutco sets have a built-in discount, so it's cheaper. Sets come with the free cutting board and other free stuff. Sets are much safer because they come in a blocker tray. And we have interest-free monthly investment options, so you don't have to pay for it all at once.
Okay.
Okay, so Miss Jean, we're gonna exit the full screen. So I guess you already did that, so you can click the escape button and go back to the original page. Go ahead and scroll down to the next slideshow called Set Options.
Right.
And then go full screen on that one.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Okay, great. Let's go to the first slide where you'll see a Wusthof and Shun brand comparison.
Right,
okay. When it comes to high quality cutlery, it's like anything else. There's a wide variety of quality and prices. Cutco is top rated, so we only compare to the highest quality brands. I have a price comparison for our top competitors, Wusthof and Shun. Have you heard of them before? Okay, great. Well, these high quality sets are made overseas. They're two of the top selling brands in stores. Each brand has different types of sets which range in price. Wusthof is the most popular. The price for this Wusthof set is $3,435. Sometimes you can find it on sale for $2,000. There are some major differences between these brands and Cutco. Wusthof has mostly straight edges, so they need to be sharpened, which is a hassle. They're not recommended for the dishwasher, and the warranty is on manufacturing defects only. In comparison, Cutco has our unique wedge lock handle, exclusive Double D Stay Sharp edge, and we have our 4-part forever guarantee, including our free sharpening. Cutco owners will tell you that it's 10 times better than any knives they've ever used. Just considering the guarantee and unique features, most people would agree that Cutco is at least twice as good as Wusthof. When something offers twice the quality and value and lasts forever, you'd expect it to be at least twice the price. At twice the price, you're talking over $4,000 for a set of Cutco. So you can click next.
Okay.
And what page does that bring you to?
The forever guarantee.
Okay. Cool. So it has the homemaker sets on the left and accessories on the right.
Right.
Okay. As I said earlier, our Homemaker Plus 8 is our most popular set. It's perfect for families that cook 2 to 4 times a week. It has the 10 basic tools I explained earlier, 8 table knives, the wood block, and a sharpener for straight edges. We also have a Homemaker set without table knives. If you were considering a set of Cutco, would you prefer the set with the table knives?
I don't think so because we already have some table knives.
Okay. Great. Well, the great thing is that it doesn't cost $4,000. In fact, it doesn't even cost as much as the Wusthof price of $3,435. The Homemaker Plus 8 set is
All right. All right. Awesome. So that we're going to go through all the prices tomorrow. That went past more than we wanted to share. So I know some people already had out, but super excited.